Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Stakeout on a new channel. Yeah, I moved Stakeout to this new channel because I want to keep my main channel for more of my discussion stuff. But yeah. Anyways, this week we're doing a tier list to celebrate our fourth episode. We've been doing it for a bit now.
Yeah.
Anyways, my co-host, as usual, we have Yoshi,
Hello, everybody.
and we have It's Just Ketchup.
What's up, guys?
I didn't almost fuck up your name this time.
Oh, hell yeah.
My
I
ketchup.
love it.
So for the tier list, it's mostly just a consideration of a killer's general strength, and we're gonna briefly consider add-ons because for some killers the add-ons mean quite a bit. Do you guys have anything you want to add?
Not particularly, no.
We should say, like, I would argue that we're three fairly experienced players. You know,
Yeah,
Yoshi
fairly experienced. Only a little
a
bit.
lot of hours.
Yeah, I was about to say you two are like in the 6K.
I'm near 7K. Yeah.
Like 6, 7K. Meanwhile, I'm just sitting here with my 1.6
I'm
or whatever.
12K.
Yeah,
Let
Yoshi's
me
got a
leave this place.
To be fair, a lot of my
Yoshi-
playtime is largely just because I was not around for older DBD. I've been playing since around Skull Merchant's drop, so I'm still a relatively recent, but I'd say I have a pretty good grasp of modern DBD.
Yeah, and also Yoshi and I'm not sure about you, Yoshi, but I think you do. We both have at least semi-competitive experience each, a little bit.
Oh yeah, I played comp back around year 3 of the game when Ghostface came out because he was one of the killers that I played. I played Ghostface, I played Plague, I played Peg, I played Doctor and Myers and Oni when he came out, and then around Deathslinger's release was when I stopped playing as much.
And I've played in a few charity tournaments.
Yeah,
I mean-
the only thing I really care about, like, competitive wise, well, I guess if you wanna, I guess competitive, you know, solar queue or whatever, not in like actual comp DVD where there's like a billion restrictions.
Yeah.
The only thing I really care about in regards to that is perks and add-ons. Otherwise, you'd see me spamming Billy Blight Nurse all
Right.
the 24/7.
I mean, my argument a little bit against my comp experience to play Devil's Advocate was it was pre-crossplay days, so it was console-only lobbies. So that was like... you'd probably know some of the players around that time. I don't want to name
I
names
know
because a
some
lot
of
of them are
them. Yeah, I
not
know
good
who you're
people
talking
anymore.
I know you're talking about. I know at least a few.
Yeah.
Okay, are we feel ready to get into this?
Yep.
Are we ready to get flamed online for having an opinion on the internet? Yeah,
I am ready.
especially on DVD.
Starting with
All right,
Trapper, right?
Let's start with the big man himself, Trapper. So,
John M. himself.
I'm gonna start with Trapper. I'll just throw it out right there. I think Trapper is a bottom 3 character.
Boop.
He requires a lot of time to set up. You feel pretty much like you're playing from underneath the entire game. Really benefits from perks like Corrupt Intervention, of course, but after 6.1.0 when Corrupt Intervention got nerfed, I would say that was a pretty big hit for Trapper. Takes a long time to get anything done. He's a feast or famine killer. I will say this, though. If you get survivors in a basement, it does make him substantially better.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts on Trapper.
Yeah,
Very
that's,
good at protecting a totem, I'd like to say also.
Alright.
That's my thoughts on Trapper.
You can go catch up.
I kind of share the same thing. I do. If it wasn't for Skull Merchant's existence, which we'll talk about her later, I would say Trapper is one of the worst killers in the game. Bottom would arguably the worst because I have some thoughts about Myers that I'm sure you two are gonna grill me for, but we'll get there when we get there. But I would say Trapper is bottom 3 as well, and he does very well snowballing, especially if you get him in basement, but the chances of you being able to do that are not very high, even for more experienced trappers, because people are just used to knowing how Trapper works at this point. And he, for some reason, doesn't start with all his traps, and it makes setting up with him a pain in the ass.
They hate him.
Also, he gets caught in his own traps without an add-on for some reason.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the
Yeah,
milkshake
Trapper
raft.
Wrap.
Yeah.
I wish that would just get made base kit or something. But
I actually
Be
really
nice.
like that add-on. I think it
I do
low-key
too.
makes
It's a
him
lot of
better.
fun.
I do too. It is pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, I think Trapper. He's also extremely add-on dependent as well. He needs Eerie Stone helps him out a ton. Trapper Sack is really nice, although it does stop him from being able to replace traps. It's more of a one and done thing, so he needs to pick carefully where he sets up that. with that add-on, but overall it's pretty good because he just starts with all his traps. But I would say Eerie Stone's the big one out of these.
Yeah.
Um, Trapper is a killer that has gotten worse. He's only gotten buffs, but he's gotten worse over time, and I think it's just because of how the game has changed around him, and not necessarily because of his design. Like, because even way back in the good old days of 2018, 2019 DBD, like, he was still considered a really weak killer, but it's like, you know, he had a couple good maps, and a lot of those maps were good for him because they had a lot of grass on them, and maps just don't have grass anymore. Like, you notice, Autohaven and Macmillan, and those little filler tiles, they used to actually have grass in them, so you could hide them in the loop, and they just don't have that anymore, and I feel like that's something that's actually hurt him a lot, and it's why maps like Yamoka or even like Dead Dog are still pretty decent for him. So I feel like that's one of the main factors that he's fallen from grace so much, even though he didn't have much of a height to fall from. And the add-on rework that he got helped him a little bit. Like we were saying, the makeshift wrap really helped him. Trapper Sack and the eerie combo of Bloody Coil and Stone. Even the haste when placing a trap is actually really nice for him, both in chase and for walking around the map and setting up. Honing Stone is still surprisingly good, but the other big thing that actually hurt him a lot was the brightness changes on the maps. Because it made add-ons like Tar Bottle and Logwood Dye, which I don't think he has anymore, really bad when they used to be some of his best add-ons because they basically hid the traps, and they're only good on like the swamp maps now.
Right.
He also lost a lot of trap setting spots, like not to get into too many specifics, but he used to be able to like clip a lot of traps into the ground on some maps, which granted were bullshit because you couldn't see them, but that's another big factor, you know? He's just... He got worse while getting better at the same time, and because of other killers getting added, he's also been power crept, and he feels bad, and I don't think that there's any way that the devs could fix that, realistically speaking, outside of like something huge like making Bloody Coil and Honing Stone and the Deep Wound add-on. I think it's the Lengthened Jaws base kit.
Trapper
and even
now throws bear traps. Said Trapper now throws bear traps at people.
Yes, another ranged killer. We need that right now. Please. But yeah, he's hot doo-doo Garbo, and he needs help, and I don't know how you're supposed to help him, because it's not his fault, it's the game's design.
But I did want to bring up that Trapper wasn't... Correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't Trapper one of the better killers back when DBD, like, was in its early days because infinites were so common?
Yeah, when there was 3 killers.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
he was
like
better than Wraith,
like,
to be fair.
I mean, like,
Wraith was
even
bad.
like back when like it was just, you know, during Hag and Doctor or whatever, was back when
he was
infinites
pretty decent,
still
yeah.
existed.
Because he was
like,
definitely
alright
better
back
than
then.
Hag. He was definitely better than Hag on release. He was definitely better than Wraith. Probably better than Doctor.
I think
Wasn't better than
also-
Michael, Nurse, or Hillbilly.
Yeah, it was Nurse, Billy, Huntress, Myers were probably all better than him. It was probably up until about Clown's release that people started to realize how weak he was.
And also
Bamboozle.
about your Logwood Die comment, I'm on his wiki page right now. He does not have Logwood Die anymore, but he still has Tar Bottle.
Yeah, I know he still has Tar Bottle. I just wasn't sure if he had Dye, because they changed the rarity colors, so I forgot.
Okay. I feel like we're good moving on from Trapper. Like, we pretty much all agree.
Fucking Evan.
Yep.
Yeah.
Evan McMillan.
Ketchup, you want to get us started on Wraith?
Sure. Wraith, I hear a lot of people, especially Scott Jones, say he's like a super underrated killer, which I can agree with in some aspect. He is like he is one of the starter killers and like the go-to beginner killer. But I mean, outside of him being able to like body block from windows and all that, honestly, I don't think he has that much going on with him. Personally, his main playstyle that he excelled in was hit and run, and with all the healing shit that's happening at the moment, that's taking a severe hit. So, and the fact that he's like supposedly a quote unquote stealth killer when you can hear him like from like a quarter of the map, you can hear him coming a mile away. So, yeah, he's more of just an anti-loop killer now, but even then, he's I would argue that good players can invalidate that pretty well. So I would go around C tier personally. He has a pretty good add-on selection that you can pick from that let him cloak and uncloak faster. He can break shit faster when he's cloaked. He can make the bell silent, but outside of the bell being silent one and the breaking faster, I don't think they're impactful enough in my opinion. But then again, I don't really play Wraith all that much, so who knows, maybe I'm skill issuing. But as it currently stands, that's my thoughts on Wraith.
Okay. Yoshi, you wanna go?
Wraith is an oddball for me because he's a killer that I played a bit for a time, as I'm sure everybody has, but like I was really, really into for a time. And now he's just a killer that like frustrates me. Like I don't enjoy playing Wraith, which is weird because in theory he's like not actually even that bad. He's not map dependent, and what I always say is he's like a blight with training wheels. Like you don't have to learn bounce logic. You just run across the map really fast and then get in a chase with somebody and play John M1. But he also has like the lunge out of stealth that he can use for mind games. And then he has a lot of actually really good add-ons in his add-on pool. He's got Windstorm, he's got Swift Hunt, he has the Wallhack add-on that I forget the name of, All Seeing.
All Seeing.
He also has the Generator one.
I think it's All Seeing.
The Silent Bell and the Global Bell, the Bone Clapper, which I actually low-key think is better than the Silent Bell.
Yeah, I do too.
So it's like, and he has add-ons that inflict like Mangled, Hemorrhage, Blindness, which like granted it's not much, but the fact that you don't have to waste a perk slot on like Sloppy Butcher is actually kind of nice. Especially when his primary playstyle is hit and run. But like Ketchup said, his stealth isn't the best. Like you can hear him, he's very loud. You can see his shimmering. He's still, it feels more like he has a small terror radius rather than he's undetectable, if that makes sense. And paired with his speed, like he's really good at catching up to people after a hit or after breaking a pallet. But there's other killers in the game that also do that better, and it feels more like, rather than that being unique to him and being his strength, it's more so like a detriment because of how many other killers do it better, and he feels more like a starting point for people that want to play and learn those killers. Yeah. I don't really have much of an opinion on him.
So you
wouldn't
C tier?
I would say top of C, bottom of B, yeah. Like around there. It depends. Once we place the other killers, it'll be more easy.
Yeah, so this is like our second killer, so we'll flush it out more.
I'll say C for now.
Before this upcoming patch, I would have called Wraith high B. But with all the healing stuff coming through, I think it knocks him down to mid to low B. I am a Wraith believer. I've been a Wraith believer for years now. Talking about his add-ons, Swift Hunt is incredible. That's his best add-on, in my opinion at least. I think it's like it turns his almost a guaranteed hit into an absolutely 100% they're getting hit. Windstorm's still nice. Shadow Dance is really good for making the map extremely unsafe. You talk about him being loud, and I do agree he is very loud, but I feel like a lot of people don't really notice it. In a competitive setting, I would imagine Wraith is probably a bit worse than this, but I think in public matches where a lot of people aren't playing as well as they should be or could be, I think Wraith really excels, and he's very easy to play. And with the Mangled add-ons, he pretty much, if you bring that add-on, you have 5 perks. He's really good with Pop Goes the Weasel, he's really good with Barbecue and Chili, Hex Ruin, he has mobility, he has a decent enough chase power, he has stealth, he has multiple tools. I think he's a pretty good killer, but this upcoming patch I think is going to nerf him pretty significantly. So I would say probably the bottom of B for me right now.
Yeah.
But I'm willing to drop him to the top of C if that's what you want to do.
I can concede to either. We'll see where the other killers move. I'll put him at the top of C for now, and then as we place more and more, I'm sure we'll reorder this as we go along.
Yeah, usually when I make my own list, I do usually put Wraith in around high C, so I'm in agreement with that for now.
Yeah, that's where I'll put him.
All right, Hillbilly, you want to start us off, Ketchup?
I already did. I started with Wraith. It should.
Oh,
I think
I'm so
you
sorry,
started with
Yoshi.
Wraith.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Billy, can I start off with I don't like this killer? I've never liked Billy. Like, genuinely, I've never liked Billy. From the moment I started playing the game to current day, I don't like playing him. I don't like facing him. Even Overheat Billy, I didn't like facing, even though he was weak. So, hands up in the air, caught, I'm a Billy hater. I'm going to just say it. But, that being said, obviously this killer is really strong. I think he's like top 3, top 5 area of the game. I'm just going to put him in S tier. He has really good mobility. He has an insta-down. He shreds pallets really quickly. He's not super map dependent outside of like 2 or 3 indoor maps that give him a hard time. Like, I don't really count Midwich. I would say like RPD, Larry's, and Gideon, and I think he can play everything else just fine. His add-on pool is also surprisingly solid, like turning add-ons, charge time add-ons, cooldown add-ons, bump add-ons, mangled, engravings, low pro chain, and he can use pretty much like any perk in the game except for M1 perks, because you should primarily be using your M2. Curves are gross. It gives him an anti-loop tool. He feels like an all-arounder top tier. Like, even as a Billy hater, I can say he feels like the most fair S tier in the game, if that makes sense. So, yeah. Billy hater, but Billy good. And even though I don't like him, I wouldn't change him.
Yeah. I can go, if you don't mind, catch up?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what you just said. I love Billy, though. The only time I didn't like Billy was before these nerfs he got back in October or whatever. I thought he was too strong. I still think he's a bit too strong now, but he feels pretty manageable to me. But that's because I play him, I play against him, I like him a lot. I like him, this killer, a lot. One thing I would add on to what you said about indoor maps, I don't think they hurt him as much as they used to. Overdrive does a lot to kind of nullify shitty maps. You can just back rev people if you need to. I think the larger terrorities ended up being a buff to him.
Yeah, I agree.
And in this patch that's coming up, survivors are going to all spawn together unless they bring the what are they called? The shrouds. Yeah, I think it's pretty much like set in stone that Hillbilly is an S tier killer.
Lethal.
Yeah, lethal pursuers. Yeah, lethal stocks are going to go up next patch.
It's going to be lethal, infectious, chlorophobia, distressing Billy. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm S tier. He is, Yep. And I think he is, like, I think we'll get onto him later, but I think the S tier is Killer 1, really high up there, and then there's some space, and then Killer 2, and then there's some space, and then there's Hillbilly. Like, and then there's everybody else after that. But I just think the top 3 are so far above everybody else. It's just, I don't really struggle to place them.
Yeah.
Catch up?
So, Hillbilly. I think he's a little... For me, I think he's overrated a little. I think people overrate him a bit. Like, yeah, he's top 5. I'm not going to argue that. That's a given. Overdrive did so much to help him out. But like Yoshi said, indoor maps can still give him trouble. And like Kasir said, you can just back rev people if you want to. But even then, collision problems and indoor maps can still give him a bit of a hard time. And I feel like this is... Like, when they originally made Overheat, I was opposing it initially because it just made him feel horrible to play, and I just never played Billy during that time because, he felt like shit. But after Overdrive came out, I can kind of see why they did Overheat a little bit, because having unrestricted map mobility that you can just pop at any time and also insta-down at the same time, that is a really freaking good trait. So, I can see what the thought process for Overheat was now.
Yeah.
But like you guys said, his add-on selection is really good. Low Pro is a very fun add-on once you get good with it.
Add-on.
But everyone runs the turning add-ons because more maneuverability is always good, especially since especially if you're using mouse and you're not using the Q and E keys to turn, it can be a bit of a pain sometimes. But yeah, I don't really have anything else to say that hasn't already been said, other than I can kind of see why Overheat was made a thing, because like I said, having on command mobility that also doubles as an insta down tool is an absurdly good ability
Mm-hmm.
for something that has no cooldown. Especially since it also gets buffed over time as well, thanks to overdrive.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
S tier
that's
though?
it. Yeah. Oh
S
yeah.
tier.
Absolutely.
Okay,
I'm. Like I said, like I said, I think he's overrated, but I'm not arguing that he isn't top 5. That's a given. I'm not going to argue that.
I think this next one will be pretty short. Nurse.
Can we just put her in S? I don't
Should
even
we
want
just
to
put her
talk
in S and
about
move
her.
on?
I say, do we
Yeah.
even need to talk about Nurse?
Let's just put Nurse there.
This funny killer goes through walls and hits people and they die instantly. That's crazy. Anyways, next
And
killer.
people, and people try to downplay, like, oh, just use cover, omitting the
Yeah.
fact that like 90% of nurses run aura perks, so it doesn't matter.
Right. Can I start with Myers since we just skipped Nurse?
Yeah.
Sure.
So pre-rework, I would have put Myers bottom. Well, no, bottom 2 because Freddy was really dog shit too. But I would have put him bottom 2. I think after his rework, I think Michael is a pretty decent M1 killer. He's nothing special. I think he's not as strong as Wraith. I do think he's worse than Wraith, but I think he is very much above Trapper. Like we said earlier, I don't know if we said it. We said it before we started recording. Tombstone Piece is a add-on that you really have to like keep in mind. Like, you can't put him in A tier though because it's kind of goofy. Plus, I don't even think Tombstone Piece is that good. I mean, being able to kill someone at 3 gens or whatever, like, fucking Blight can do that.
Nurse can do it too.
And Billy.
I think Myers feels a lot better and plays a lot better than he used to. Going to 110 in tier 1 was huge. Stalking better from far away was massive too. I think right now we put him below Wraith in C tier. That's my suggestion.
Okay,
Yoshi.
so,
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Oh,
Ketchup can go, because I have a lot
yeah,
to say.
I thought we were doing a pattern like it was
I'm so
Kusir,
sorry,
then
you're
me,
so
then
right.
Yoshi,
Oh my
then
gosh.
it was gonna be me, then Yoshi, then you, and then it was gonna be
Okay.
Yoshi,
yeah,
you, then
sorry,
me. That was
I've been up too long.
no,
No, you're
you're good.
good.
You're
10
good.
a.m. by the way.
All right. So Myers, before the set of buffs that came with
I'm
what
not sure.
chapter? What chapter did that come out in?
Doomed Course.
Okay, that one. Yeah, I knew it came with Vecna patch as well. That's why I remember. That's why I remember when like the set he was in. I just forgot when that was. But regardless, before that, I would have had without Tombstone Piece or Fragrant Hair or anything like that. I would have had Myers at like as the worst killer in the game. But since Skull Merchant's now a thing and the current Skull Merchant's now a thing, and the buffs did happen, I don't think he's the worst anymore. But I do think he is. I don't like. Yeah, the buffs to Stalk absolutely helped him out, but I don't think they're enough to get him out of D tier. I think he's better in D tier. Like, he's not bottom 3 anymore, but I still think he's down there. I'm not convinced. I know Kassir keeps trying to talk me into it, but I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't see the vision. That's just, I see it differently. That's like, I'm sorry. I mean, he's cool. I like him, but like, why would I play Myers when like Oni or something's like right there?
Well, like, why would you play any killer when Nurse is in the game, or even like a side Nurse?
Honestly, touche.
Even a side
I
Nurse,
just don't
we
play-
could just go to another like power creep killer, like
or
Dracula.
Billy or anything like that. I don't know. Like, I don't think he's bottom 3 anymore, but I still think he's D tier or like around the same range as like Pig or Ghostface or whatever around there. Because like, he doesn't really have any mobility. Like, yeah, you can counter shift W with getting more stock because of how it works now. But once you're in tier 3, you still have to like chase people normally if you didn't just bum rush it and 99 it. Which, I mean, to be fair, that is what you should be doing with Myers, especially if Tombstone, because then you can just instant Mori. But and yeah, I still hate Tombstone Piece as well. That add-on needs a
It's a badly
freaking
designed
rework.
add-on.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate when
Yeah.
people argue with me over like it's a fine add-on because it's on Myers. That's the problem. It is a fine add-on because it's on Myers. If you give this to like Nurse or whatever, then like give it to Nurse or like anyone else who's really good at bum rushing. You like Bubba or Billy or Blight or something like that. Like, now what?
Yeah.
It's still inherently an unhealthy add-on
So you're
by
saying
design.
D
It's
right now?
outdated. What's up?
You're saying D tier right now though?
Like higher end on the D tier currently. But then again, I tier differently. So who knows? Maybe like low-ish C depending on how we do this, because I have
Yeah.
more tiers than this
Let's
whenever I work with. So I would say around there.
what do you think, Yoshi?
So I have a lot to say on Myers because I was actually a big Myers hater before the rework. In terms of playing him, not playing against him, although he's not my favorite. But I played him a lot when that rework came out. Like I played him almost exclusively when that rework came out because I was so excited. And I don't think he's actually bad. I think he's pretty decent. I would just to give a quick like placement, I would probably put him in C. But to argue my point, you got to really think about what the killer has in his kit. When you're tier 1, you're 110 with no terror radius. The increased stock speed from afar means that it's now harder for them to find you while you're actively stalking, unless it's like a big open map, obviously. But that means that he can take like smarter stalk positions, similar to playing Ghostface. Think like Ormond being on the top of the main building and being able to stalk people over tiles while they're doing generators and things like that. Or being able to stalk people through like the hole in the dead dog shack wall or something adjacent to that. So he actually gets rewarded significantly more for like smart positioning, which we don't have a lot of killers that do that. And then when he gets to tier 2 and he's a quote normal killer, he still has a slightly increased lunge and a slightly faster vault speed than other basic M1 killers. On top of having a 16 meter terror radius?
16, yeah. With Dead Rabbit, you can bring it down to 12.
Yeah, Dead Rabbit Monitor with the new changes is also super goated. I forgot to bring that
It's
up.
his best loadout right now, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then actually popping tier 3, it's like, in my opinion, and I've always had this opinion, I always thought Fragrant Tilt of Hair made him worse, because permanently being in tier 3 made it really easy to pre-run him, unless he had Monitor. Yeah, so the fact that, you can pop tier 3 on someone's back, insta-down them, and then you can either start snowballing and go for a slug play, or you can hook them, and now you're proxy camping the hook while everybody's insta-downable, is very strong. Granted, it's a really scummy way to play, but it's also probably the best way to play him, because if they don't come for that save during that 60 seconds of tier 3, before taking into account add-ons like Hairbow, by the way, which, since you can extend that means that that's longer that you can proxy the hook, and you can just essentially tombstone somebody out without running tombstone. You just proxy camp the hook with tier 3 active. And then if they try to dive bomb the hook save, you just insta-down them. And if they wait for your tier 3 to run out, if you don't have those extension add-ons, with the faster stock speed, they're not going to push the hook now, because by the time that they get there, you're going to have your tier 3 again, and you're going to down them. His problem is that he has to play really scummy like Trapper, like where Trapper has to camp basement. Myers' whole playstyle is proxy camping hooks and trying to slug everybody.
Another thing I want to bring up about the proxy camping hook thing, if he has Tombstone piece, he can just sit. He can still face camp with Tombstone.
Oh yeah, you can just
because they can unhook themselves, and then then the moment they Kobe, you can just kill them.
And
he's like a Ghostface that can't be broken out of stock.
Yeah, exactly.
It's admittedly really funny, but it's also really scummy.
It's really stupid. And that's just the killer's base kit, right? Smaller terror radius, longer lunge, faster vault, insta down, and then on top of that, he has very little map dependency, in my opinion, outside of like the usual bad killer maps like Batum.
Just super open.
Yeah, any like big open maps like Auto Havens and Erie really suck for him, but he's...
Well, honestly, even super open maps kind of work in his favor too.
For stalking, yeah. I think a lot of the primary way that you even play him now is like stalk from afar to get out of tier 1, or even, I haven't seen many people do this, you 99 your tier 2, so you stay in tier 1, and then you walk up to them and hit them while you're undetectable, and then stalk them while they're running away. Because you could potentially get a gen grab off of that. Right? And then say that you get a hook while you're still in tier 1 with your tier 2 99. Now you're walking around undetectable after you just got a gen grab. They have no idea who the fucking killer is because they haven't heard the little sting that plays when you tier up. They're like, oh, my teammate just got grabbed, and there's no tear radius. It's probably a ghost face. And then they're running for the hook save, and you meet them halfway there while you're still undetectable. You pop your tier 2, and now you're playing a normal killer. You have a hook, you have a chase. Like, you're pressuring 3 people.
You're in a really good spot.
And then, you know, God forbid you get tier 3 in that chase, you down that person, you go back to the hook, you slug another guy, and then now you have 3 incapacitated survivors. Like, that's this whole thing is he's really good at snowballing. And this is all before even taking into account his add-on pool. And I'm not even talking Tombstone. I'm talking, like, tier 3 extension add-ons, stock speed, even, like, Mirror Shard, being able to see people through walls after stalking them. You can see exactly where they're pathing to, and you can, like, kind of rotate around and try to cut them off. The stock speed add-ons are also surprisingly decent because you can just walk around while stalking, and then, like, if you randomly start to slow down, you know that you can see a survivor, and you can use it as, like, a tracking tool. And then he has, what is it? Vanity Mirror is actually pretty decent. It's not, like, better than base kit, but it's still pretty good. And then Scratch Mirror won't be as good after the map offering change, but, like, it's still there. And then obviously Tombstone.
For Scratch Mirror getting killed next patch.
Rest in peace, Scratch Mirror. I always hated playing and facing you.
Oh well.
Honestly, though.
And then that's without even talking about Tombstone Piece, which, let's be honest, really think about it. The problem with Tombstone Piece is that you immediately kill a survivor, but you immediately kill them after getting all that stock up, right? Whereas you can just play any killer that has a really good chase tool or even, like, really good mobility, and you could just tunnel somebody out at 5, and it's the same thing as having Tombstone. Like, we were talking about, oh, don't give it to Nurse. She already has Tombstone. You tunnel someone at 5. Nurse has Tombstone
slightly
piece.
delayed Tombstone.
Yeah, exactly. Well, not
slightly
even.
Delayed Tombstone.
It's
I think
not
a bigger
even
issue. I think a bigger issue with it is just you can stalk one person all the way up, and then you can just immediately mori someone completely unrelated.
Yeah.
That just feels horrible as well.
Well, yeah, but it's the same as, like, your whole team getting slugged by a Kaneki or something, right? That's completely out of your control too. That's what I'm saying is, like, I'm not defending Tombstone, just to be clear, by the way. I think it's bullshit and it needs to get changed. I just think, like, people are like, oh, this add-on is problematic because he can just kill somebody. But then you look at, like, dude, look at how good at, like, even just another not top tier killer as an example. Like, look at how good Clown is at tunneling, right? Or even Deathslinger or something like that. Like, it's not just a him issue, it's just a game issue. It's just that he exacerbates it
I guess
by
in that
having it as an
aspect that
add-on.
makes sense.
Yeah, because you could just tunnel somebody, and it's the same as having Tombstone Piece. Just that you don't have to deal with endurance.
Well, what tier are you thinking?
Oh, he's like bottom of C, top of D. But
Okay. Yeah, that's how I was feeling too.
I am a
So
Michael
below
defender.
Wraith?
I think he's really good now. Yeah, below Wraith for now.
Yeah, that's how I was feeling. You okay with that catch up?
Yep, that works.
Okay. We were on Michael for a while. Who starts with Hag here?
I think it's me.
I don't want to talk
Okay.
about Hag.
Wait, hang on. Is it me or is it?
I think it's you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's you.
All right. Okay, so I am a Hag believer. I'll probably have the most positive Hag take here because I know, judging from our scrapped stakeout, Yoshi is a certified Hag hater. So
Yeah, she's my least favorite killer.
I am fully expecting a full, like, nuclear bomb to go off when Yoshi talks about Hag. But yeah, I'm personally a Hag believer. I think she's a bit better than Trapper, but it's kind of hard to explain because Hag's a weird one to tier. Because on one hand, in, like, your average game, she absolutely stomps normally, but then once, like, everyone has communication and they have dedicated people to kill her traps and all that, then yeah, I agree. She's Trapper tier in that case. I agree in that aspect, but I say there's a bunch of different tricks you can do with the traps. You can set them up in ways to have them cover multiple different areas at once. And because that little camera drag that happens whenever a Hag trap sets off, you can use that to deny resources and throw people off. Which, that one's really funny. Despite being a really forgotten killer and not really played all that much, she has a surprisingly good add-on pool, especially with Rusty Shackles making it unable to know when the traps get set off. Although you do lose that little like swamp like sound whenever the thing goes off. Instead, it's just a normal noise notification, so it's a lot harder to track. Because on one hand it could be, oh, my trap just went off, and another could just be, oh, someone fucked up a skill check or something like that. Right. And so I noticed that's a bit tricky. And then Mint Rag is basically a much more macro focused add-on that lets her teleport to whatever trap she wants. Kind of like what old first rework Sadako had, where she can teleport to any TV she wants, but she has to wait like 10, 15-ish seconds or so.
Yeah, it was
for old Sadako. For Hag it was 15 seconds per, I think 15 seconds in between teleports. But it's somewhere in there. But but basically it ends up making her kind of like a 4.4 demo in a way, because you can set up traps in like different areas to catch people off, and then you can just teleport over there mid-chase, cut them off, and down them that way. And I think that makes her a lot better, since you don't have to rely on people fucking up to get value from your traps anymore. But it's like a very different way of playing Hag. So it's definitely one of those add-ons you have to get used to. And not to mention, she also has Waterlogged Shoe and the Severed Hand, which enables Chag, which I tried for the first time on Blood Moon. That was extremely fun. Thank God that didn't get killed in the haste patch, because that was why I played it in the first place, because I wanted to experience it before it went down. And then yeah, she has her trap range add-ons. She has trap setting speed, which those ones are really good. And yeah, I think overall, and she's also extremely good at camping hooks, because for some reason she doesn't have a range limit run around hooks, so she can literally just hook right at a hook's. She can literally just set up a trap right at a hook's feet and just. Which was absolutely disgusting back when hook grabs were still a thing, but
yeah,
not anymore, thankfully, thank God. But yeah, I think Hag is super chill. I'm a Hag enjoyer, but with the recent changes of heal speeds going up and just general changes to camping changes and 3-gen prevention stuff, which is the whole thing that Hag's really good at, because she can't chase for shit outside of that. Then yeah, that definitely brought her down quite a few pegs, actually, because originally like Hag was not great on release, and then she got buffed up to being like super nice, and you couldn't even wipe away her traps either. You had to use flashlights to get rid of those. So even if you did know Hag's counterplay, unless you like dedicated an item slot to countering Hag, you couldn't do anything about her traps. But then once they got rid of that and added the ability to manually wipe, that also hurt her. And then, yeah, those were the big ones, I would say. So I would say around like low B, high C, somewhere in there currently, because she's still like against your average game. Hag and another thing that comes in Hag's favor is that it's because of her being the rarest killer in the game. It's not twins anymore. It's Hag now. She has the benefit of people not knowing how to counter her, which yeah, that's technically a survivor skill issue and shouldn't be considered, but because of just how often that is, I feel like it needs to be considered just a little bit, which I think propels her up a little bit. But yeah, like I said, since you're gonna be seeing uncoordinated people or people that don't know how she works, that propels her up. But the moment you get a team that like, oh hey, there's where someone just goes out of their way to play the long game and they send someone to go specifically to harass Hag's traps, then yeah, she can play around it, but it is extremely freaking hard to do so. And more often than not, for your average player in that scenario, she just gets absolutely she gets destroyed in that scenario. Not really anything you can do about that. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Hag. I like her, but I do think that the changes to the game are hurting her, and she's in need of a rework of some kind to help her keep up. I kind of ranted a little long on her, but
no, you're good.
No, you're good.
You want me to go, Yoshi, or you want to go?
You go.
Yeah, see, I think I know what's coming when
I just don't even
Yoshi
want to
starts
talk about Hag. It's not even.
I just
Yeah.
how do I like say this without being a dick? I fucking hate Hag's design.
True.
I think it's such a bad, outdated dog shit design,
True.
and I think it's like such a blessing that she's so rare.
True.
I think she's really bad too. I don't think she's good. I think she relies on shitty, boring add-ons that are like super uncreative, not even really that effective. Like, you know, what do you run on Hag? Fucking range add-ons, shackles, you know, just fucking boring shit. It's a really boring power to play against, to play as. They all do the same fucking thing. They hook you. They put 9 traps around the hook. You just can't. Your camera's getting fucking yanked everywhere when you're trying to unhook. I think Hag really relies on either playing in a web, which is a playstyle that's not good anymore because 3-genning is not good. She relies on camping, which isn't good because there's 70-second hook timers now. Everything Hag does well has been nerfed really hard. I don't think Hag's good. I think she's worse than Myers.
Oh yeah, another thing I wanted to bring up about the 9 traps at hook thing. That whole thing gets invalidated if you just crouch walk over to the hook.
No, I know.
That's
But
always
solo
been
queue.
the case, though.
Your solo teammates
Yeah.
can't fucking do that. They're gonna blindly run into the goddamn Hag traps, which, to be fair, that is a survivor skill issue. But I could also make the argument that if they are crouching through it, that just makes Hag even weaker. Like, I think she's worse than Myers. That's my takes on Hag.
Okay.
I feel
Yoshi's
bad
gonna
that I'm the
argue
only.
the same
I feel
shit
bad
for me.
that I'm the only Hag believer here.
I
I'm like-
used
I'm
to
like
put her
one
in S
of
tier
the-
back in the day.
I'm like one of the few people that like actually gave Hag a chance.
I used to really like Hag. Like, back in the day when I was, like, super sweaty, that's who I played. Oh, fuck, I just dropped my drink. That's who I played.
Yeah, and I'm also a little biased towards Hag because she was my very first main when I first started playing DBD again, and it was on DBD mobile, surprisingly enough.
Nice.
But that's besides the point. We don't talk about that.
Yeah, I think Hag's terrible, though. Yoshi,
no,
you want to go ahead?
I hate this killer. I hate everything this killer does. I hate everything that this killer represents. I don't think she's fun to play as. I don't think she's fun to play against. I don't think that her power is interesting. I don't think that her add-ons are interesting outside of Chag and Mintrag. However, I'm also a Hag believer. I actually don't think she's
Ooh.
bad. As much
Shit,
as
I'm gonna
I
have to
hate
give
her.
ground here.
You said what?
I didn't.
I said I'm gonna have to give ground here. I thought
Yeah,
you were gonna agree
no,
with me.
you're
Yeah,
the one who's gonna have to fight.
Yeah, I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't know you were a Hag believer. Damn.
No, I actually.
Given all the shit you gave her in Flesh when we were talking about Flesh and Mud, but
Because
so I was expecting a full on roasting, but this is interesting.
I genuinely hate her design, but I don't think she's a bad killer. I really don't. Like, because think about it, right? God, there's so much to talk about with her. Just the trap alone, you can shut down certain loops, certain tiles, hold certain choke points. Yes, she can't encompass everything like a lot of other killers can, but she can still do, like, a job, right? And the only way, like, if you approach a loop, alright, and there's a Hag trap at the apex of the loop and she's walking at you, your options are, let's say you trigger the trap, okay, you either drop the pallet, she teleports and hits you. You double back and then drop the pallet, she doesn't teleport and she hits you. You drop the pallet and then vault over it, and either she teleports and hits you because of ping, or she doesn't teleport and you get hit because you vaulted into her like an idiot. So she enforces a lot of 50-50s in that way, right? And it's the same with like windows, but I'm just using a pallet as an example. Or alternatively, it's at the apex of the loop instead of at the pallet, and you drop it, and you either have to, she can rotate around the loop, like if the trap is on the right side, she walks to the left and makes you run into it, and then it's a 50-50 there. Or you hold W away, so that way you don't have to play the trap, and now she just zoned you away from the tile. Like, she can play loops surprisingly decently well. Granted, she's a 110, like, that's her biggest flaw, is when you do W key her, she's 110, so that chase is going to take longer. But she basically doesn't actually even have to play the chase. And if you walk up to a loop that doesn't have a trap in it, she just sits down and draws a triangle, and now you're forced to hold W or play the 50-50 again. And that's why I don't like playing against her, like, for that same reason. Is
Playing against...
Mm-hmm.
You go.
Oh, I was just saying, like, in the instance where she already has a trap set up, it's a 50-50, or you hold W and you get hit regardless. And in the instance that she doesn't have a trap set up, she just corrals you to the side of the loop that she wants you on and puts one down, and then it's the same thing again. And it's very boring to play as, and it's very boring to play against. I don't think it's the most effective way to play her, but I think it's the least healthy part of her design.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never said she was fun to play against. That's an entirely different ballpark. And that's more of a trap killer problem, because I know like a lot of people don't like facing Trapper either, despite him being super weak, because it forces people to actually pay attention to the floor.
Mm-hmm.
But and we all know how Skull Merchant came out.
Yeah.
But even though I was fine with facing Skull Merchant personally, because like I said, you could invalidate her entire kit by just crouching.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't as
Hag,
bad.
by the way.
For me, it was exactly, yeah.
But yeah.
Only difference with Skull Merchant is that Skull Merchant doesn't teleport the moment you get scanned.
Yeah.
So, and that made her significant. And her traps are like way like flashier, so it's easier to notice them.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you could just run over some random grass patch and then just die because Hag put a trap there. And that never feels fun. But playing Azure, especially if you're running Chag or Mint Rag strats, then yeah, I think she's really fun with that scenario.
Yeah, I think Chag is like the only exception to all these points that I'm making. But even then, I don't like facing Chag, because it's just like, oh, she drew a triangle next to a pallet. I run at the pallet. Oh, I can't drop it. That was fun, and then I die. You know.
People are claiming haste meta at the moment because of all the haste shit running around. Does that mean Chag's gonna be meta now because that's all she runs?
Low key, so, yeah.
Where are we feeling on the tier list for her?
Oh god.
I would say like low B, high C, somewhere in there. Because in your average game, Hag's gonna absolutely stomp.
I put her mid C. Like, I'm gonna say
I'm okay with above Myers, but I don't think she goes above Wraith.
No, above Myers, below Wraith.
I'll compromise for that. That's fine.
Okay.
Because we
were talking about maybe putting Wraith in B, anyways.
Yeah, because I think her chase is like decent. If you play the web play style, like her mobility is decent. Granted, it's easy to counter. She's still decent at camping. Like her add-on pull while barring is all really good, and she's surprisingly not map dependent, which is odd for a trap killer to say that. But yeah,
because it's a trap killer that has mobility.
Yeah, exactly.
And unconditional mobility if you have a mint rag.
Because even like a notoriously bad killer map like Batum or Garden of Joy, she actually plays decently well, and it's really weird.
Well, it's because you put your traps in high traffic areas, and that's how you play her, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh yeah, another thing I want to bring up:
the Batum window or the Eerie window, or the Garden of Joy window, and like you're gonna get hits.
Yeah, you get a free hit, or they don't play the tile.
Another thing I want to bring up is that Hag is probably one of the best users of Franklin's Demise and Weave Attunement.
Oh yeah,
because you can just trap up an item, and then either someone triggers it, or you can just put on Mint Rag and just teleport there yourself the moment you see an aura.
That's the one last thing I actually wanted to say was the trap wipe mechanic. I completely forgot about it. The trap wipe mechanic, while it does let you counter like her camping and getting rid of her web and stuff like that, and like bully squatting her, it's also passive slowdown for her, because it means that you're not on gens, because you have to crouch walk up to the trap and then take the time to wipe it. Go on.
I was saying, and that's a big part of why survivors have so much problems against Hag normally, because a lot of people want to, like, I want to do this as fast as I can and leave. Meanwhile, with Hag, you have to play the long game against her.
Yeah, you have to play so slow and patient, and that's why I think low-key she would benefit from, like, because a lot of her problem is her add-ons being dull. She would benefit from having add-ons that either give the survivors debuffs from wiping the trap or making the trap wipe take longer, but I don't want that because I don't want to see more Hags, so that I'm just Hawk Tua spitballing my idea.
Don't ever say that again.
So we're thinking mid-C for Hag?
Yeah, mid-C.
Think we're good?
Yeah, that works. I'm fine with above.
Okay.
I disagree with C, but I'll compromise with above Myers, below Wraith. I'm alright with that.
Yeah, I think we might end up
I think part of that is just because I also tier super weird, so this is probably going to be one of those.
Okay, I think I start now, yeah?
Yep, Doctor.
I have some thoughts on this killer.
Herman Carter.
We were talking earlier when we talked about Wraith about underrated killers. I think this is one of the most underrated killers in the game.
I
see a lot of people put Doctor in like C tier, and every time my mind is blown. Granted, I don't think he's A tier. I think Doctor is a solid B tier killer.
Yeah, I would say
Um,
he's average. I would say he's
I
not good, but he's not bad either. I would say he's
I
just average.
I think what's it called? Discipline is
Broken.
like
Yeah, it is discipline
insane.
add-ons.
It's way too good.
Broken.
Calm is also really good. He has a lot of synergy with a lot of meta perks. Now that Made for This isn't meta anymore, he's a pretty good killer. Rapid Brutality was a game changer for Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
He can just played at his highest level by someone like Herman the Doctor or something like that. He's going to fucking stomp you. Good doctors are scary.
He's so good.
And I think outside of like really, really good teams, Doctor will win most of his matches. Merciless Storm is a really good pick on him, as we all know.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Dead man.
I think he's. I wouldn't even be. I wouldn't even blink if we decided to put Doctor in low A tier. He's really good.
That I don't know if I can agree on, but
Yeah,
I think he's mid
I
B.
don't
But if
agree
you
with
guys
that
were to
one,
say
but-
A tier, I wouldn't be against it. But I do think Doctor's really good. I think mid B tier for Doctor. That's my thoughts.
Okay.
Yoshi, you're up.
I fucking love Doctor. Can I just say that? Like he's so
Yeah, he's
cool.
really cool.
He's so fun to play. Not my favorite to play against. I used to actually like him before they gave him the discipline partially base kit. Now he just feels really fucking oppressive. But like we have a killer with really good tracking, really decent anti-loop, with a low skill floor and a high skill ceiling, a lot of perk diversity and variety, and a pretty good map pool. And one of the best add-on pools in the game, can I say? He has shock range. He has discipline, which we already talked about, the reduced delay on the shock. Like you said, calm is really good for him, having like the big tear radius for the blast and then the small tear radius to sneak up on people after is really good. I think order and the tape add-ons are like the only oddballs out, but like his Eries are good. And then my personal favorite Doctor add-ons are the restraint add-ons, because the illusionary doctors that appear with the add-on, they face the direction that the survivor is standing based on where their camera is looking, if you didn't know that. So if someone is standing in, say, Dead Dog Shack, they're standing right in the middle, and their camera is facing towards the gallows, so where the pallet is on the shack, and the illusionary doctor will spawn in front of them and face towards them. So you now know that they are not in that whole corner of the map past the shack pallet. So it gives him free tracking on top of the aura reading effect when their madness goes up, which also allows him to do like mind games and chase when you're shocking them. Yeah, that's my favorite add-on on him. Just giving more tracking to a killer that's already good at tracking is really funny.
Yeah.
That with discipline or with calm is just he has so many cool combos he can run. It makes him so fun and unique. He just, he's got a little bit of everything. He's got tracking, he's got chase, he's got game delay, he's got he
Isn't
has
he
stealth
one of the?
to a degree. Continue.
Isn't he one of the few killers who can also use distressing? Because that increases his terror radius.
Yep, he can run.
It's alright, yeah.
He runs a lot of really oddball perks. Like you can run, like we said, Merciless Storm and Distressing.
Yeah, he's like Huntress's Lullaby. He's like the only killer that can use that.
Lullaby. We already talked about Rapid Brutality. I had another one in mind, but I can't remember. Odd Interaction, but like Oblivious perks. Since they're still technically inside your terror radius, you'll still shock them. But it doesn't work with Undetectable. It only works with Oblivious. So Hysteria is actually really good. Surprisingly, healing perks. Since you can shock them, you can activate like the Hemorrhage from Sloppy Butcher or whatever. Insta down perks, since people are really easy to find. Like he's diverse. I think that summarizes how I feel about him. He's diverse. He's a jack of all trades. He's a master of none. His biggest flaw is just not having mobility. If he had mobility, I would gladly put him in A tier. But he just doesn't.
Oh my god, yeah. If he had mobility, he would definitely be much higher.
Yeah, without mobility, I would be completely fine putting him in B. But with mobility, I would totally slap him in A. So I'm just going to throw him in B.
Yep, I think that's, yeah.
What else is there to really say, honestly? You both kind of just took my thoughts. He's kind of... I don't think he's A. I think, like I've already said when Kasir was talking, I don't think he's good, but I don't think he's bad either. I think he's like around that average tier with with low skill floor, high skill ceiling. His add-ons are all pretty good. He can run a whole bunch of different perk combinations. He's infamous for skill check builds, and that's what you see like 90% of doctors run. But you can do so much more with that. Yeah, we kind of just talked about everything already. There's not really much more to add. So
Fun fact about
I would say around B tier.
Yeah.
Fun fact about Doctor, he's like one of my best killers statistic wise, even though I don't play him that much.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't play
I
Doctor
feel
a
like
whole
that's
lot
a common
either.
thing. I feel like a lot of people do go with Doctor. He's just really good.
Like I've gone on crazy win streaks with him, like unintentionally. I've just been like, I'm gonna play Doctor. Oh, I won, 18 games in a row. That was cool. Like, oops. Also, I had a build. I don't know if I still have it put together. I will check the game real quick since I already have it open. But I have a build that I call like his best build. I don't have it put together anymore. All I remember is that it had like Whispers, Thrilling Tremors, Pop Goes the Weasel, and something else in there. But he has like... It further goes to prove that he has a lot of diverse builds he can run. I think it was... Stibiffle was probably in there before it got changed.
Yeah, he's a solid killer.
But yeah, Doctor the GOAT. We love Doctor.
Doctor
in
good.
here.
Doctor underrated.
Yeah, Doctor's sick.
If you take anything from Stakeout today, Doctor good.
Yeah, go out and play some Doctor. Not in my
Play some
matches.
Doctor.
Yeah, go
Not
play
against
Doctor,
us,
but
though.
not against... Yeah, exactly. Not against us.
Ketchup. Right?
Wasn't
Huntress?
it you who was next, or did
No,
you already
I started
do
with
one?
Doctor, yeah.
Alright, your turn for Hunty.
Hang on. I did Hag, then Kasir did. Yoshi,
no,
aren't
oh,
you
it's
supposed to do
me?
this?
I'm so sorry.
Me for
Yeah,
Hunty?
I knew this. I knew this was gonna happen. God dang it!
We're fine.
Huntress.
I'm doing Bubba.
Shit.
Oh, yeah, me too. I'm starting with.
Hell
God.
yeah.
Oh, wait. Why is Huntress next on the tier list when Bubba's next in the game? That's weird.
Yeah, that's weird, yeah.
Yeah, they position Hunt. They keep moving Huntress because initially she was like after Nurse, and then they moved her to. They keep moving her around even though she technically released before Bubba, but after Doctor. It's weird. I think part of it's because she's on the box art of the game.
Yeah.
And people wanna.
So, Huntress. My first main ever. For those who don't know, I came to Dead by Daylight from Overwatch. So I was a big shooter guy. So I fell in love with Huntress almost instantly. And back then she was considered like a top 3 killer, top 4 killer around that area. Nowadays I feel like she's been power crept by a lot of other range killers, namely like Unknown Artist, even Springtrap recently. She's a pretty decently map dependent killer if you're trying to play her to like her skill ceiling, like going for snipes and cross maps and stuff. But as much as people like to talk about that and the fact that she has the potential to do that, most people don't do it. So I usually don't take that as a factor, but it does increase her map dependency a little bit. If we're talking just her mid-range zoning and chase playstyle, it's just she's consistent. That's all it is. She can walk up to a tile, pick up a hatchet, and it's a 50-50. And that's it. She's just consistently good at that. And that's just her chase. Outside of her chase, she's good at snowballing. She probably has the highest health state per second output in the game, next to maybe like Trickster and Kaneki, I'd argue. Because she can just... You walk up to somebody and you hatchet, they go down. Oh, there's someone on a gen next to them. You hatchet them. Oh, there was 2 people on that gen. You hatchet that person. Now you have a down and 2 people injured within 15 seconds of the game starting. So her damage output is really high. Her snowball potential is really high. Her add-ons are really good. She has cooldown, flight speed, wind-up speed, move speed while winding, exhaustion, like status effect add-ons, Eerie Head. We can't forget Eerie Head. And what I think is her actual best add-on is the Glowing Concoction, the one that reveals their aura after you hit a hatchet. It makes going for lineup shots and cross maps so easy. Like, it feels dirty to use. I hate that add-on. And in terms of, like, perks, she can use whatever. She can use aura perks. She can use Gen Slowdown perks. She can even use chase perks. I see Brutal on Huntress a fair bit, to be honest. Even oddball perks like Dissolution. I think really her biggest flaws are 1, being 110, and 2, having a 40-meter lullaby. Because aside from that, I mean, she's as mid as it gets. Like, I would put her at the top of B tier. Solely for like map dependency and being 110 and the lullaby. Like I said, those are her biggest issues, and the lack of mobility. But like when it comes to chase and when it comes to snowballing, she really has it all. Like she's not bad. She's good. That's it. She's just good. She's decent. She's consistent. That's what I said.
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny when you're talking about the killers that have power crept him. Or, I'm sorry, her. You said literally every killer except the one that I think power crept her the most.
Slinger.
Slinger, yeah.
I kind of forgot he was in the game. That's why.
Yeah, I think you guys will be able to convince me that Springtrap's better. But I do think just like I don't have much to add past what you said. I would put her above Doctor and B tier. I do think she's really good, and I think she's very easy to understand, very consistent, like you said. But yeah, I just like I said, I don't have much to add past what you said. Hitboxes are pretty fucking annoying to play against, but that's just DD.
Oh yeah, she's also super ping and hitbox.
Yeah,
hitbox reliant because there's a reason we like joking that Huntress likes throwing aircraft carriers at people.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, I don't have much to add.
Yeah, same here.
B tier.
Yeah, top of B for now.
Okay. Catch up. Do you have anything, or are you good?
All right. Other than for what's going on with Bubba, no.
All right, you go ahead and start us off with the big man.
Bubba's gonna be short because I don't play Bubba a whole lot, but I do. But from what I do know about Bubba, I don't think he's very good. I think he's in around C because the insta down with the I think he's just worse hillbilly outside of like camping scenarios. But and even then that got nerfed because of the anti camp, so he can't face camp super well anymore. Well, not entirely, because he can still, like, he can still proxy camp it, but he's not, but, like, he can't just literally just sit in, like, basement corner or whatever with Insidious and then just kill you for trying to play the game and guarantee a kill that way. He can't do that anymore. But, yeah, generally, I do think he's just worse hillbilly. Like, yeah, being able to insta down multiple survivors at once is admittedly really strong, but it's also he doesn't really have a whole lot of mobility if he makes mistakes or he overheats the chainsaw, he goes into tantrum, which it's good thematically, but it feels so bad when that happens. And while he can shred pallets if you time it perfectly, he can still get stunned and not do that. So yeah, I don't think Bubba's doing too hot at the moment, personally. But then again, like I don't play Bubba, so who knows? Maybe you two have some better ideas. I very rarely play Bubba, so.
Where would you put him, personally?
I would probably go above Myers, below Hag, around there for now. We'll see.
Do you want to go Yoshi, or you want me to?
Yeah, sure. I probably won't have too much to say about Bubba either. He's one of my least favorite killers to play.
Yeah, same. I don't feel anything when playing him. I think he's boring as shit.
It's funny because occasionally I get like, I just get in the mood. I'm like, man, I'm gonna play some Bubba right now, and then when I'm in the match, I'm like, this fucking sucks. But
honestly, though,
I don't even really think he's like. I don't know, dude. Like, what does he do? Genuine question. What do you do? Okay, you have a chainsaw that insta-downs and instantly breaks pallets, right? And that's it. Okay, so he's really good at destroying map resources quickly, just like, say, Nemesis. And then he can insta-down people, and I'm not even going to take into account insta-downing multiple survivors, even though it happens occasionally. I'm not even going to... It's not often enough to justify it as a reason to play the killer.
Right. Yeah.
I think his primary strength comes from, like, the acceleration with his chainsaw over time. So the fact that you can, like, I'm trying to think of a map. Torment Creek, right, where the cow tree spawns towards the center of the map, and then the shack is in, like, the bottom corner opposite of the main building. You could, like, kick the pallet at shack, and then start revving your chainsaw, and then as your speed is accelerating, you might catch them before they make it to the tree. But, like, you can just do that with Billy without needing the acceleration. You just chainsaw in a straight line at them, and you can even body block them from the pallet, whereas Bubba has to hope that he has the right distance. in terms of add-ons, he has like 3 that I think are good, and 2 of them are the chilies, and the third one is the light chassis, which is really funny because it's just rat poison on his chainsaw, but it's when you rev, so you can literally just like tap the button, so that way the bar fills up a little bit, like before you even get the slowdown from revving, and you could just see people through walls at all times. So I like wall hack Bubba, that's cool, but I still just play him like an M1 killer. Like he's perma tier 3 Myers. That's how I'll put it. Bubba is perma tier 3 Myers with the ability to break pallets as fast as Nemesis.
Not to mention, he also has beast engravings, which are basically just engraving add-ons for him.
But the thing is that the mark add-ons that he has that increase the move speed are worse than the chili add-ons. Because the chili add-ons...
Are they?
Yeah, so the chili add-ons give you acceleration, so every sweep you do, your speed gets
I'm
gradually
pretty sure those
faster.
give you charges now.
What do?
I think they changed that when it's a rework. Don't the chilies give you charges now?
No, they increase the sweep duration.
Oh, what gives them charges?
The primer bulb and the vegetable oil, the ones that used to be the Insta-Saw add-ons.
One gives you 4.
The depth gauge rake.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I got chilies mixed up.
Yeah, no, chilies they increase the duration of the sweeps, which means that the acceleration keeps growing. Like, it'll continue to go up because your sweeps are longer. So because of that, even if you just have one chili add-on, the acceleration from the chili is faster than the flat movement speed that the scratches and the marks give you. So if you have both beast marks and knife scratches, you get the slower charge time on the saw, which makes you lose more distance compared to the movement speed that you gain. Whereas you just run chili, and you just get that extra move speed plus a little bit more, and a longer duration on your sweep without the downside of the longer charge time. So there's no reason to use them. They're just complete dog shit.
So where are you thinking for Bubba right now?
I put him in the same spot. I'd say below Hag, above Myers. I just think he's so basic. He's so boring.
Okay.
He doesn't do anything. He just exists. He's Bubba.
Well,
Exactly.
I was going to argue above Hag, but since you've both said below Hag, I'm okay. But I do want to make a case for Bubba.
One more thing. When you approach a window as a Bubba, you no longer have a power. That's all I had to say. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
I want to make. I do want to make an argument. I'm okay putting him below Hag, even though I think he's better than Hag. Bamboozle makes this killer a lot stronger. You can use Spirit Fury Enduring. That kills people. I also want to say, you guys said it doesn't happen very often, but in those situations where he downs 2 people to hook, that's game.
Oh yeah, you win the game immediately.
He's won the game.
Oh yeah. If he downs multiple people with one use of the power, yeah, no, you've won that. You've won that game pretty much.
Yeah, his snowball, it's conditional snowball. That's why I don't think it's that good. But the fact that it happens sometimes means that, like, yeah, you just win the game sometimes. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, I think Bubba's. I don't want to say underrated because I can't call every killer underrated. But I think Bubba has a lot of potential, and I think it takes a lot more chase focus. What's the word? Micro than it does macro to win with Bubba.
Yeah, his whole thing is like getting your downs quickly, or like that you have to think a lot about, like, okay, I'm chasing this survivor, they drop this pallet, I'm going to break this pallet, then I'm going to rotate to this generator. There's 2 people on this gen because I have discordance. You know, one of them sprint bursts out of the tile, so I'm going to chase the other guy to force down the pallet, then go back for the sprint burst user because now they don't have their exhaustion perk, and now I'm going to get this down. I'm going to hook them, then go back to this gen pop, goes the weasel on it. Like, he has to think about everything he does, and, like, that kind of constant thinking while also, like, mechanically trying to maneuver the chainsaw around obstacles on the map. It makes it feel almost like he's more trouble than he's worth, which is really weird because of how easy he is to play.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I like Bubba quite a bit.
He's chill.
I think he's okay. I just don't play him.
I think
So
he's chill.
moving on. Oh, it's time. All right, moving on from Bubba.
Mr.
Nightmare.
You wanna start?
All right, so
wait.
I have been.
While you do that, I'm actually gonna run to the restroom, so I'm gonna miss some of the Freddy rant.
Okay.
But go ahead.
Well, I've been all over the map with this rework. So when he first got it, I was like, oh, he's like low B, he's fine, you know. And then gradually over time, as I played him more, I was like, oh, he's like mid B. He's a decent killer. I actually think Freddy's one of the best killers in B tier now. He has literally every tool. He has good in chase power, 12% hinder on a 7-second cooldown, and it lasts 4.5 seconds. You can get it up to 5 seconds with jump rope. Really good chase power, really good zoning that can down people, and you have situations, I do it all the time on stream, where you can just straight up insta down people with a double hit. A teleport to get across the map. He can teleport to people healing off hook if they do it badly. He can cut you off with a teleport in chase. The Dream World is like kind of a stealth mechanic, honestly. He has literally everything. I think he's better than Huntress. I think right now he's the top of B.
I wouldn't say above Huntress personally because Huntress just has more range and can like snipe and has like higher DPS. But I do think he is above Doctor at least. I think he's pretty close to. I think he is pretty close as well. I agree with pretty much everything. There's so much shit you can do with Freddy now, and it just feels super nice. So I'm in full agreement of him being in mid-high B somewhere in there.
My main argument for above Huntress, at the moment at least, is the mobility. She is a 110 killer who's only good in chase. Freddy's good in chase, has mobility, has info, can tunnel really well if you wanted to, also really good at slugging. Because if someone who's asleep comes over to pick them up, he can just teleport right back and down the guy again.
I agree.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
I think he's over. I think he's above Huntress right now. I don't think he'll end up being the top of B tier, like the tippity top, but I think he's better than Huntress.
No,
that's fair enough. I'll concede with over Huntress in that case.
Yeah, like I said, I can think of a few killers right now who I think will be over Freddy in the B tier, but as of right now, I think he's the top of B.
Damn, what a glow up! He used to be one of the worst killers in the game. Now he's better than Huntress.
Oh, yeah,
I think he's really good. Yeah.
He's really fun too. So
he's very fun.
I say he's in my rotation as well.
I will say, before anyone in the comments gets on my ass, that could just be me being a biased player, but I think Freddy is very good right now.
And I agree. I think Freddy's very, very good right now. Not A tier material, but I definitely think he's above average now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't even really like the rework that much personally, but I still think he's actually a good killer now.
Yeah. Anyone want to share some thoughts?
No, you kind of just said it all.
The nightmare.
Yeah. We can move on from Freddy if you want. We are kind of taking a bit too much time on each killer, I think, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, we are. We should probably condense
this
down.
Like, we've been going for an hour and we only have like 6
minutes. Yeah,
no,
we should condense our thoughts down a little more, even though we probably won't.
Yeah, we definitely won't.
We probably should.
Maybe the killers that either we don't, maybe the more obvious ones that we might not have as much to say about.
Yeah. Okay. Pig.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think Yoshi starts with Pig on this one, and then I do Clown. I think that's the order.
Okay. Pig was the killer that I was the most known for pre-crossplay days. I was the PlayStation 4 Pig main. Because the other one we don't talk about anymore. But yeah, I played a lot of Pig. She's the killer that I have the most experience with in terms of like the older cast. And she's the killer that I probably have the most competitive experience with as well. Over time, she's only gotten really buffs, even though the meme is Nerf Pig. She's gotten a lot of really nice quality of life changes in recent years, and I actually think that she's like surprisingly decent. In terms of placement on a tier list, before I actually start like delving into her, I would put her above Hag and below Wraith in C tier. She has pretty decent stealth with her crouch. The ambush is a surprisingly decent chase tool. Even if the survivors know how to counterplay it by holding W from the loop when she starts crouching or when she starts the ambush sound, that still lets her corral and zone people away from tiles that she doesn't want to play by just like crouching, faking the growl, and standing up. And since she doesn't have as much slowdown while doing that anymore, and the crouch speed is faster than it used to be, that makes that playstyle better. So she can actually choose what tiles she wants to play and what ones she doesn't. Passive slowdown in the bear traps is really good. It takes a lot of macro play to actually know how to pressure people with their traps, and I'm not talking like just tunnel the guy with the trap on, but I mean like corralling people away from the boxes that they are trying to get to, knowing what boxes they've already solved, how many that they've been through, doing the math to calculate like how many box searches the other survivors have to do. Like, oh, I put this first trap on Felix, and I think he got it off on second box because it took him a whole generator to get it off. So that's 2 out of the 12 searches, so they have 10 searches left, and this person took 4. So, being able to do that really elevates her skill ceiling and her skill expression, and actually like pushes her strength to a whole different level. But the fact that she's still just normal M1 killer with no mobility keeps her.
Yeah, Jane M1.
Yeah, if the ambush was a little bit better, and by a little bit better, I don't even mean like increasing the move speed or the duration, but just like the charge time, like make the workshop grease base kit. It would make her chase power a little bit better, and then giving her granted they can't, but giving her mobility would like instantly put her in B tier for me. Like I think if she had mobility, she would be the same strength level as Freddy, basically. But as she stands right now, I mean, she doesn't have any super broken add-ons. She has like annotated plan, taper timer, jigsaw sketch, crate of gears, last will. Everything else is kind of bad. She has a lot of really bad maps because she's an M1 killer, and her perk pool is diverse, but it feels limited because of the fact that she's an M1 115. So, yeah, top of C under Wraith is where I put her. I like Pig. I'm a Pig believer.
I would put her above Bubba, below Hag, I think. No, because
agree
I
with
think
that, too.
Bubba's better than Hag.
Wait.
Fuck, wait. Okay, for the purposes of our tier list, I'd put her above Bubba, below Hag.
All right.
Personally, I think Pig is one of those characters who has a lot of tools, but none of her tools are exceptionally good.
Yeah, she's mid.
I think she has worse stealth than Ghostface, but better than Ghostface. Like, she's a better killer overall than Ghostface. Worse anti-loop than Dredge. Worse slowdown than Pinhead. Like, she has like she's like the fucking great value version of every other killer, you know? But I do think she's a halfway decent killer. But for the purposes of our tier list, I would put her below Hag.
I would agree with that as well. She feels, I don't know if it was Asimov's or someone else who said it, but Pig feels like the most normal M1 killer experience outside of the bear traps.
Yeah.
Because most of the time you're not going to be using ambush to actually do the ambush. Like, you can in some instances, you could get away with it, but most of the time you're just doing it to fake the crap to get people off of it. It's rare you're actually going to damage with it, usually. And like Yoshi said, if you manage the traps well, if you manage to like spread them out, if you manage to keep track of who has what, and then that'll apply a bunch of pressure to people. But for the most part, she can do a fair bit, but the things she does tends to be outdone by like killers who specialize in that aspect better. She's more of like a generalist, I would say.
Yeah.
Generalist M1
Jack
killer.
of all trades, master of none type killer.
So, do you feel comfortable putting Pig below Hag then, Yoshi?
I only will because I think Hag's mobility and snowball potential is better. But I think the primary thing being like her just being an M1, and the ambush not being that good. I hate saying this kind of thing, but I really think it's a skill issue on a lot of other people's parts for not like, because to be fair, she's using the ambush properly is difficult. Because it's not just you take the pallet, crouch in the pallet, and then play the 50-50. But there's also like certain spots on other maps, like say Coal Tower, for example, where you can ambush off the top of the tower, and while you're dropping, you can go through the window and hit them while they're vaulting the window, and then end up on the inside of the building with them. Or not Father Campbell's. Well, there is a spot on Father Campbell's Chapel too where you ambush off the stairs, and you can hit them over the pallet at the bottom of the stairs. But I was thinking Disturbed Ward. You can ambush off the top of the building where that big like glass window is, and you can actually go through the window and hit people that are vaulting it, or people that are running through that room, or if the generator's in that room. So she has a lot of funky ambush spots. You used to actually be able to ambush and glide off of the docks on Swamp and actually stay on top of the walls in that jungle gym. And then you could just, like, Assassin's Creed jump down at people, but they patched that out.
Yeah, she's cool.
Yeah, she's a decent killer. She's really fun.
What a glow up, though, to be honest. Like, she used to be, like, bottom 1 at one point, if you remember that.
Yeah, I always had the opinion.
Yeah, it was during the Nerf Pig era.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Clown, Yoshi, I think you start.
You started.
I started.
I
Pig,
started.
I think, didn't I?
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
crash out
Okay.
on myself.
Okay. We need a better system of doing this because we
It's
keep
alright,
losing
it's
track of who's
It's
doing
okay.
it.
Well, you do this one, and I think I'm next for Spirit, and then we'll just
All
keep
right.
track from there.
So, Aranad's main, the one that has like 200 fucking page clown guide. I think Clown's my guilty pleasure killer. I like playing him a fair bit, even though he's very disliked by a bunch of people. It's just a very casual killer, I would say, but you are able to do advanced stuff with the yellow bottles. But the main thing with Clown is that he is extremely good at chase. He is, unless survivors are pre-dropping all the time, which even then that's somewhat debatable. If he's really good with bottle placements, he can invalidate that sometimes as well. But he has like no gen defense, I would say, if he's not ending his chases really good fast, which admittedly he's really good at, because like haste and hinder are both really good effects to be applying on yourself and to other people. Well, maybe not the haste part, but that's you know what I mean. But because Clown lacks general map presence and pressure, if he's not getting his downs extremely fast, then yeah, he has a bit of a hard time. So I would say at the moment below Bubba, above Myers. That's currently what I'm thinking.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Damn, that is not.
Either that or above Bubba, below Pig. One of those. I don't know.
I was thinking below Doctor.
Really?
Yeah, I think Clown's pretty good.
I agree.
Yeah, I think just doing the thing where you hold them, or where you hold the pallet, you put a slow down, you put a speed up, like you're gonna get that hit. It's definitely a lot of setup for one down. I agree with that, but you know, bleach. No, I'm sorry. Chloroform. What's the one that gives extra hinder?
It's
Plastic
bleach.
Yeah. Bleach is just a crazy add-on. A 19% hinder with a 10% haste. He uses rapid brutality better than probably any killer in the game. Save the best for last. Brutal strength.
Cool.
Pre-dropping counters them, but brutal strength is so strong right now that it pretty much, and you can throw a hinder on them at the same time.
Not to mention, Garish makeup kit lets him have wall hacks on the
cigar box.
on the yellow bottles. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cigar box that does it. Yeah.
Oh I thought it was Garish kit.
I
Okay,
think you
Garish
should
kit's
put him below
invigoration. Well,
Doctor.
Garish kit and cigar box both work super well together as well.
Yeah.
I'm thinking right now below Doctor, above Wraith.
I would agree to that because I think Clown is actually super underrated. Not just because of, I mean, obviously Aranette is the big one, but also I know Bennett used to also be a big Clown man, and he actually has shown and taught me a lot of stuff. And
But if you want to catch up, we can give some ground and put him below Wraith if you'd like.
I'm
Did
fine
you
with
have
that.
him- okay, we'll
I'm
put
willing to
him below Wraith
compromise for
Ooh,
that.
can I fight
Alright,
for him
we'll-
above Wraith still?
Actually, I
Actually,
had him in the exact same spot.
I would I'll concede to putting him below Wraith. I actually think Clown is.
Yeah.
Like,
Can we
decent.
move Wraith up to the bottom of B? It just looks weird to me.
Yeah. We
I
have
just
so
don't
many
think Wraith is
killers
a
in
super
C
killer.
tier, and then we're gonna get to like.
Don't worry. We're gonna get to
The
better
tiers
stuff
are
pretty
coming,
soon.
don't you worry.
Yeah.
Spirit. So this is me. Spirit used to be number 2. She got a rework. She's pretty much the same. I just like. I was trying to figure out recently, like, why is Spirit falling off? Not falling off in terms of like she's weak now because she's still really strong, but she's fallen off on the tier list.
I thought you were
And I
talking
think it's not-
popularity.
Dracula.
Huh?
I said Dracula.
I thought you were
Oh.
talking falling off
No.
in terms of popularity, in terms of like how many people play her.
No. I was thinking about it recently. The only thing I could think of is that Behavior just started making killers that were better than her. I don't think Spirit's in the top 5 anymore. I would put her at the top of A tier, I think, right now. I mean,
I'd be
she's the
fine
only
with
one in A
that.
tier. I mean,
But I still I
at
hate
least.
this. I hate this killer so much.
I do too.
I have a burning hatred for this killer, and I will not hear anybody out on that because
Yeah.
like, making a killer entirely countered by sound is just screaming accessibility problems.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
I mean,
I really wish they made something like a visual for this killer, but everyone's gonna get huffy about it if they do. So I don't know.
you got
Still
any
fuck
thoughts
this killer.
on Spirit, Yoshi?
I actually do. As I always do, I had a period of time where I played a lot of Spirit. I like to have little phases with killers where I play them nonstop for like a week just to get like, oh, so that's how that works under my belt, you know, like to get the experience of like playing as and against them a little bit better. Spirit was one of those killers, and it was actually not too long ago. I think it was, I want to say around when Chucky was like really, really bugged, or after his dash got nerfed. It was one of the two. I binge played Spirit, and I think like it's gonna sound weird, but while she has been power crept by newer releases, and I agree to that being part of the reason that she's fallen down, I also think it's because the nerfs that she got, or the rework with like the directional phasing and like the add-on changes and whatnot, actually made people better at playing against her, for those that can. Obviously there's the accessibility issue in the room, but aside from that, in terms of like being able to hear which way that she's going, means that the palette is no longer like a 50-50, because you can actively hear her phasing one way and then double backing and going the other way, so that way you can actually like play the mind game. And it gives her a lot more counterplay and chase than she used to have. Because, I mean, even though you can hear her, she's still faster than you, right? So if you don't react fast enough, she's still going to get the hit. But it's going to sound weird to say, aside from the accessibility side of things being a huge issue, I think it's a healthy design. Like, imagine if you could see her, right, while she's phasing, and you see her going one way and then doubling back the other way, but she's so fast that you can't like stop it and you get hit. But like at the same time, you could also like predict the mind game and like fake the vault or whatever.
Yeah, I don't
is
mind
that not
design.
just Chucky's slice and dice?
Yeah, I don't mind that part of her. I just don't like the accessibility part of her.
Yeah, no, the
same here.
accessibility part is the big problem, but I think like right now the thing is, it's similar to what I said to Hillbilly. I think she's a fair top tier.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just think she's, if you don't have that the problem with hearing, she's not that bad to play against. I used to really hate her, but now I don't. I feel indifferent towards her. Like, she still has some problematic things about her. Like, I think duration and recharge add-ons are stupid. The fact that she needs them, I mean, to be able to play effectively. I think the speed add-ons changing how the survivor has to adjust to reacting to her power is stupid. I wish they would get rid of the speed add-ons, especially Mother-Daughter Ring. But like after they changed Prayer Beads and Amulet and Wakizashi, I don't hate her. I think she's fine. I think she's good. I would put her in A. I agree. But I think she's in the best spot she's ever been, and I wouldn't change her outside of accessibility.
Yeah, that's outside of accessibility. I don't really feel anything when I'm playing as or against her. I think she's just kind of whatever for me.
Yeah, she's fine.
And my hot take is I think she's easy to play if you have good headphones.
Oh yeah,
because you can just crank your sound up. I think she's just extremely easy to play with if you have good headphones and your sound's up. She's not that hard.
The real hard part and the real skill ceiling of her is like the little things. Like being able to track grass or track like healthy survivor breathing without using something like Strider, or
exactly or cherry or no cherry blossom or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly. Or like even quiet survivors like Ada and Renato. I don't know if you guys know Carol or Look at My Feet, DBD, whatever they go by now. They have a very interesting video on their channel that it goes over the sounds of every single survivor and how quiet they are and like the very unique sounds that they make. So it's like little things that you wouldn't think of. So like one of the biggest mind games against Spirit, and this is the last point I'll bring up, is when you are at a pallet or a window, you drop your item by it so it sounds like you're vaulting. They are able to pinpoint the sound of the survivor dropping the item versus vaulting the window and know which one that they did. Whereas someone like me, I can't do that. Yeah, so I get caught by that
Yeah,
mind game,
I wouldn't
right?
be able to do that either.
But as you get better with the killer, like there's a lot of little sound cues that you pick up on. Like you hear very specific parts of the survivors breathing, so you know how far they are from you, or you hear them, like I said, dropping the item, so you know what item it is, or whether or not they vaulted, or if someone's waiting for a flashlight save, like you can phase in a circle around your slug and actually hear the other survivor to find them and prevent the save. Like there's a lot of little intricacies that go into her. So it's like her floor is really low. It's like just listen. But her ceiling is like really cool. Like she's a cool killer. I hate to be that guy. I don't mind her. Spirit's cool. A tier.
I'm just not saying anything because we really gotta speed this up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. I agree.
Do we just want to do one person
Legion.
take? Do we just want to have one person make a take and then we just add on to it or anything like that?
Yeah,
Or
let's
instead
do
of all
that.
three of us giving opinions?
Yeah, because
Just to speed this along.
Yeah.
Yeah. Legion. Who wants to start?
Who's Legion?
I believe it's you.
Oh, Legion. Man, I hate this killer. Can I just? I'm gonna put Legion in D tier immediately, above Trapper. But I think
Yeah, I would
Yep.
say that. Agree.
Legion. I think the only thing that I really have to argue outside of like their quality of life changes making them better and their add-on pool and perk pool being decent, is the fact that they're the only killer in the game that teaches bad or weak survivors how to play efficiently. Because the counterplay to Legion is do not heal and split up. And if you do not heal and split up, he is now forced to chase as a 115 killer with no power. And if he downs that person, you guys are on 3 split gens because you're split up. And now he loses 3 gens for 1 chase after getting 4 chain hits or 3 chain hits or whatever. And that's just ass backwards design. Like I think this killer's dog shit.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, you can't even make changes to them either because they could either, one, they could make changes so bad it brings back old Legion, or two, they would have to like completely, like the number changes are not the problem. His numbers are fine. The problem is just the power itself.
Yeah, I think just it's a
So-
flaw
Pixel
design.
Bush made a fantastic video about that.
Mm-hmm.
About
I
Legion.
remember that.
Yeah, and I think that's what I'm drawing from as well because I saw that as well, and I agree 100% with Pixel Bush on that video. The problem is not the numbers. The problem is the power design itself, and there's no real way you can like balance it without making him shit or without bringing back old Legion. So they would have to give him a completely different power
That being
Yeah.
to avoid
said,
that.
I think there is one way to fix it, and it's not necessarily changing the numbers of the power itself, but it's giving him another part to the power. Like how a lot of killers nowadays have multiple parts to their power. So like Sadako's demanifest, right? It's like, oh, you have a lullaby and you're undetectable and you phase in and out and you can't be stunned by pallets. Like there's a lot of little things just in that one part. I think it would be really cool if maybe if the Legion vault, or if the Legion hits somebody with frenzy, they get a token, and if they vault a window, they lose the token and that window gets blocked until the frenzy ends. Like something little like that.
So like base kit bamboozle or something like that.
Yeah, but only during the
Like
frenzy
conditional
chain.
bamboozle or something
Because
like that.
you could in theory like say that you chain 2 people, and then you're chasing that second guy. Now he runs to a long wall jungle gym. You vault the window and you cancel frenzy. Now that window is blocked for a little bit, right? So now he actually has a chase power. Just something like that.
I don't know. I don't know what you do with them.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah. Definitely D tier for Legion.
Yeah, top of
Yeah,
you, though,
absolutely.
for now.
Yeah, above Trapper. All right. Plague. I can take Plague. I mean, she's all right. I think she's below Spirit in A tier. She counters the best Survivor item in the game, which immediately is going to put you up there. If they do decide to cleanse, she has a very, very strong power. And even if they don't cleanse, everyone being injured all match is really good for you.
Yeah, base kit know it
she's
the whole
good.
game is
Yeah.
pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Plague's good.
No, I have nothing to say outside of her.
And I
add-ons
will
are
say
busted.
though that her viability is greatly enhanced by her Eries because she has some of the like insane Eerie add-ons.
Yeah, her add-ons are
as well.
broken.
They're really good. Yeah.
like if Eerie Seal didn't exist, she'd be way lower. But
Mhm.
but she does have Eerie Seal. But she does have Eerie Seal, Devote's Amulet, and the
The apples.
yeah,
are
and
good,
and
too.
stuff like Deadlock or whatever the new reworked name of it is.
Yeah, she has incense, she has
Yeah,
apples,
I mean-
she has toe. What is it? Viola Medic, the projectile speed one, is actually really good because it makes them get infected faster. effectiveness, charge time. Like she has everything. She's good. Like
It's just her Eries are the most insane ones, and that like especially Eerie Seal. That add-on's egregious.
she was one of my sweaty killers back in the day too. I used to play Perkless Plague a lot. Like that was before her buffs.
Nice.
So cool killer.
All right.
Where are we putting it? I'm pretty sure we're putting her in A, but
Yeah,
do we
A,
go
but
yeah,
above
I have her
Spirit?
below Spirit. Yeah.
Yep.
Currently.
Alright. I'll
Ghostface.
Can we put him in D?
one of you two should do
I
Ghosty because
played
I
the
don't play
shit
this
out of
character enough.
Ghostface. I can take him.
Yeah, can we
if you
put him
want
in
me
D?
I mean, he's D. Yeah.
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
go
yeah,
D
yeah.
below Legion,
Yeah.
above Trapper.
Yeah.
So I used to be someone who refused to acknowledge Ghostface was bad. For the longest time, like up until like early 2023, I was like, no, dude, you don't know what you're talking about. Ghostface is like high C tier. No, this killer's bad. He was good when he came out, but that's because DBD was a different game then. He does things too slow now.
Mm-hmm.
He's Myers with more steps, and he could have his power taken away when Myers can't. His add-ons are okay. You know, they enhance a power, but how much can you really enhance dog shit, you know? I mean...
Yeah, you can only
I
polish.
mean, driver's
the turret
license
so
is like the only cool thing that he has.
Oh, I love Sheath. Have you tried the purple?
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter. He's alright. Like, he's not alright. But, like... Smaller tear radius helps.
Barely.
But, like, I think inherently with that power, he'll always be bad. And that's okay, because he's popular and people like him. But, yeah, bottom 2 for me right now.
Yeah, being one of the few killers that can teabag will do a lot for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other thoughts?
Do you catch up?
What's up?
Do you have any thoughts on Ghosty?
D tier. That's all I'm gonna say.
He was one of the killers that I played in comp, but that was back when like the best playstyle on him was hit and run. So I ran I had a no slowdown build on him that I was pretty infamous for. It was like Sloppy, Blood Echo, Deathbound, and I don't remember what the last perk was, but yeah, it was just like back then he played hit and run without actually stalking people, and then he got some buffs, and then his stock became a lot more viable. And it's funny because the main argument back then was who's better, Myers or Ghostface, and everyone always argued, oh, it's Myers, his snowball is better, you just slug everybody. And then like over time Myers became worse and Ghostface became better, and now they're both dog shit. Well, Myers is better again, but yeah, just I don't even know how you fix him either. That's the worst part.
Not with that power. He ain't fixing shit.
Like, you could
Yeah,
give him
I don't
add-on
think-
space kit and he's still ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not really a whole lot you can do to change.
But, like, he doesn't need to
Ghosty
rework
his
either because he
power.
has such a unique identity.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's perfect, like, in terms of...
The only thing I
design.
could maybe think of would be like increase like stock range and stock time, but even then I feel like that might be a little much. I don't know.
I
Because
think-
then you just make him feel shitty to play against.
Yeah,
Like every time,
Exactly,
this is
that's why.
this is gonna make us go on for Ghostface for another minute or two. But I hate when people are like, oh, just give him haste and stealth. Well, then you just make him feel shitty to play against.
Yeah, and then
And it
he's
doesn't
still
even make him that
ass.
much better.
And he's
Yeah,
still
yeah, exactly,
ass.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, those are like the only things I can think of for him. But like, what else are you really gonna do with this power? I don't really
Yeah.
know.
I think, maybe if
That's why when
having
you
people
go.
stalked gave him something, like, he doesn't
Because
necessarily
I'm
need...
exposed. Omega will.
Well, yeah, I mean, aside from that, like, he has that one add-on, I forget what it is, I believe it's the yellow, it's green, the address book now, that, like, reveals their aura when they
Oh, I'm all
fall.
ears.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, something
love
like
that
that would
add-on.
be kind of cool, like, to just have it in base kit, but it doesn't do anything
Yeah.
for him, that's the problem. So,
Yeah, he's just kind of bad.
he's stuck.
Bottom 2 right now. I mean, he'll end up being bottom 3 probably.
Yeah.
bottom 3 because Skull Merchant's in here still.
Demogorgon. I can take this one. I play him quite a bit.
Yeah, I don't...
I'll take Oni.
Okay.
'Cause I said I haven't talked in a bit.
I made a video recently talking about this killer. I think he's quite good.
Boo.
I think after all the buffs to his portals, he's pretty good. The portals are very underrated. People are like, oh, they just get ripped up. Well, don't fucking put them out in the open. You know?
He gets undetectable for a reason.
Yeah, I think he's really underrated. I think I would put him above Hag, below Clown.
I don't
Yeah,
disagree.
I just say I
I mean,
agree
I
with
might-
you and
Sorry.
I was saying I agree with you in that I don't think he's as bad as people are saying. The main issue is just the everything around Demo is getting stronger rather than Demo himself. He's still perfectly serviceable.
Yeah.
I in my personal tier list, I would have him in mid B, but I also
Same.
have some killers you have in B and we have in C higher than him. So I think with our group tier list, you would be below Clown.
I think I would put him below Wraith.
I'm fine with that too.
I would probably go either above or below Wraith, one of the
Let's
two.
put him below. Let's put him below. How does that sound?
Yeah,
Bottom of B.
Below Wraith, you said?
Yeah, below
Yeah.
Wraith. Because he has, like...
Bottom of B.
He has passive slowdown with cleansing the portals. He has info. He has mobility. He has a chase power. He shreds through the map pretty quick. His add-ons are decent. He doesn't have a bad map pool. He can use a lot of perks. Like, I don't know. He's just okay.
I think he's really underrated.
He's just mid. He's good at everything.
I
He's
just
not fucking-
whenever I see people put him like low C tier, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
That's more so because he's been
Literally.
power crap, not because he's bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's
All right, you
fine.
want to move on to Oni?
All right, so Oni, I think he's one of the best design killers we've ever had.
Yep.
Because he starts as regular M1 Joe Schmo Trapper tier, and then once he gets a hit, and even then you could debate he's better than Trapper still because he doesn't have to go for his traps at the start of the game and waste time.
Mm-hmm.
But regardless, like once he gets a hit, the entire dynamic of the game changes because now he's gonna have access to his hillbilly-esque insta down power that shreds pallets and walls and shit. And then and I will say I think he should be a little bit higher than before on my own personal list because they uncapped the turn thing, so now all players can do 180s and like flick around because they don't have to do the flick anymore. They can just go in any direction they want since they uncapped it.
Mhm.
I think that was a huge quality of life thing for him. I don't see how that was anything less than a win. I will say his add-ons are a bit boring outside of his Eries, but honestly, it's in the Eries just aren't great. Like, yeah, the glove one is all right. The one that lets you get wall hacks by survivors collecting blood orbs. I think that one's okay, but it is a little gimmicky. And then I think Eerie Crest is just shit. There's like no reason to use that one because that requires you to skill issue,
Yoshi, any thoughts?
especially when Infectious exists.
Yeah. I like Oni. I mained him when he came out, as most people did. He's a cool killer. Like Ketchup said, his add-ons are kind of boring, but I think even like the speed and like the crutch add-on, the move speed add-on, like that one's cool. But like a lot of them
Splintered
are
Hull is
just,
also nice.
yeah, but like a lot of them are just like increased blood orb, longer duration, faster activating of your power for some reason. But like, you know, he's not really map dependent aside from like maybe Gideon kind of sucks because they could just pre-drop all the god pallets and you don't have a power. I like what he brings to the game, this very like glass cannon approach of like they can deny you your power, but as soon as you get it, you just snowball like crazy. I think that's like a cool design, and I think it fits him.
Yeah, Oni's extremely fun.
Yeah,
like him.
I have no problems with him. I think he's strong. I think
I don't play him a lot, but the times I do play him, I have a blast.
So where are you suggesting we place him?
Yeah, the real question is I don't know if he's above or below Plague. Because I put him in A.
Oh my god, yeah, he's absolutely A. I'm just trying to figure out where in A.
I want to put
I have some
him
thoughts.
above because I think his mobility alone makes him better, but also below because you can deny him of his power.
I have some thoughts.
You don't think
Yeah,
he's
for-
A?
No, I don't think he's A.
For
Your
my
cap.
approach is that
I think he's the bottom of S. I think they
okay.
singularity.
I want to hear Kassir out actually.
I think they singularity this killer. They made him way too easy. That fucking like giga
In
flick
2v8,
that he
sure.
has now, that giga flick that he has now, that was not intended. The only reason that was in the game was because people were able to like set their DPI or whatever, and they added that to the game. So now that's officially part of the game. Yeah, I think he's too strong now.
That's not entirely
They
true.
took
'cause
his brain out of the fucking killer.
He could do it on PTB, and then he could do it for like the first day or two of launch, and then they got rid of it.
No, it's still in. You can still do it.
No. I mean, like in terms of
That
you're
super
saying,
flick or whatever.
Yeah, in terms of you're saying like it's a base kit mechanic now, and like he didn't have that before. He did.
Are you talking about the...
No. They removed that. He came out after when he went live in like 2019 or whatever, and then they removed it, and then they brought it back recently.
Yeah, but he did have it.
But he was
launched.
too strong on his original PTB though. Like on his original PTB, he was too strong.
Yeah, but it wasn't because of the flick.
I don't think he should have that flick. I think he's the bottom of S tier. I think he's better than Spirit.
We talking by the flick? Are you talking about the uncapped turn thing, or is there something else I'm not
the 180
picking up on? Okay.
Because you put that with Crutch and Lion's Fang, and you're incredibly fast. You have your power forever. You put Infectious on. Like I think he's better than Spirit.
Yeah, his snowball is crazy, and the fact that he's basically like hillbilly with easier turning and 180s is like really, really strong. But I think the fact that you can deny his power at all is still a very important factor.
He runs Corrupt then, and he just holds the gens off forever.
I mean, yeah,
not to mention heal speeds are insane currently as well.
Yeah, you just run Corrupt Brutal Forehead, and like, granted in solo queue, it's not gonna happen. He's gonna get a hit on the Meg with 20 hours that's crouching behind a locker, you know, drinking a Kool-Aid, and he's going to get that hit, and he's going to get his power and kill everybody. But, like, the fact that it's not necessarily this is going to happen every game. It's the fact that it is something that can potentially happen that is a detriment and is a downside. Like, you're not always going to load into Larry's as Billy, but the fact that you can is what keeps him from being top one. That would be my main argument. I would still be okay putting him above Spirit, but I wouldn't put him in S.
I would like him above Spirit because I personally I am very like what's the word, adamant that he is S tier, but I understand that you don't want to put him there.
No, I'd put him. I'd
be willing to compromise with that because I was gonna say above Plague, but I'm willing to compromise above Spirit.
I think they singularity'd him. I think he's way too easy to play now. That's just my opinion on him.
That's fair.
All right, Slinger.
I can start with Slinger if you want me to.
I say, Kasir should probably do this one because I think on your own list, I think you have Slinger way too high. But I want to hear you out first.
Think, except for maybe Springtrap when he drops, once people get used to him, I think Slinger's the best range killer in the game.
Cap.
I think if you play Slinger in a super fucking boring way, he is extremely strong. Wait for them to go to a window where they have no choice but to fucking go through it or get zoned. Wait for them to go to a pallet, but to have no choice but to go through it or get zoned, and then just fucking shoot them if they go through and they're dead. Or if they run off, then you just lower your gun and you M1 them. Perks like Starstruck are really good on him. Yes, he's 110, but it makes up for it in having 15-second chases. I think Deathslinger's insane.
Yeah, doesn't he have like one of the highest 2v1 like kill times?
Yeah, he's
because he can just 2-tap you because he has one of the fastest 2-taps in the game.
Yeah. People dropped Save the Best for Last on him. I kind of understand why, but I think it's still decent for him. Mm-hmm. I think Deathslinger's crazy.
Doesn't he lose like 4 tokens from shooting the gun now because the harpoon counts as one hit and then actually hitting him is the other one?
That's why people dropped it, but I still think it's decent for him. Cigar's a really good add-on for saving time. The Warden keys are still really good.
Eerie Coin is extremely strong if you're good at hitting far shots.
Good. Like I think he's really, really, really good. I think he's the bottom of A tier. I don't think he's like fucking like above Plague, but I do think he's better than Spirit. Huntress.
Crazy, because I think Slinger is straight ass.
I think he's crazy.
How ass are we talking?
Like bottom of B ass.
Oh, so like average.
I used to put him in C tier for a while. I'm not gonna lie. After he first got his changes, I thought he was like terrible dog shit. I think, no joke, I think I had him in bottom 5 at one point, like before Singularity's release. I thought he was ass. And I don't think he's that bad now because obviously, like, I see the strengths of the killer more through people that actually play him and not just me being dog shit. But I still think he's ass simply because you are playing a killer whose only strength is ending chases quickly and has nothing else. But the problem is, even as quickly as he can end those chases, they're still long chases, if that makes sense. Like, you 2-tap them very quickly because you just spear, reel, hit, spear, reel, hit, right? But you also have to take into account that you are catching up to them as a 110. You're reloading your gun. You're getting slowed down while you're reloading. They're holding W on you. They're breaking line of sight. You know, they could potentially pre-drop a really strong pallet. Your shot means nothing. Now you have to reload even though you hit them. You have to kick the pallet. You have to catch up again. Like, it's not necessarily that his chase is bad. It's that he has so many... there's so much filler. Like, there's a lot of downtime with him in terms of, like, there's so much that you have to do in between, and you have to keep that pressure up, because if you make one mistake, if you make two mistakes, he loses the whole game.
I mean, that's why you supplement that with perks. You know, Disillusion's really good on him.
Yeah, but what perk
Deadlock.
fixes the problem of, like, him just getting W keyed?
Rapid, I guess.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
now
say
you're,
rapid
I mean,
now
but,
you're
like, you- there's
115. Okay, Artist gets W keyed too, and she's 115.
Yeah, I mean, like, but like if the argument's W keying, then like most killers are dog shit.
Yeah, but
Like everybody
Yeah.
gets W keyed. Fucking Spirit gets W keyed.
his power forces you to W key. Like, other killers, they want you to play in the tiles, and then they want to try and hit you with their power. But with him, if you play the tile, it's like, oh, I'm going to get shot through this crack, or shot over this short wall, or whatever. It's like, I'm just going to pre-drop the pallet and run away. And then he's like, oh, I'm 110. Oh, I can't chase this anymore. And then 3 gens pop, and everything sucks.
I don't know. I don't agree. I think he's really good.
I agree with that being most killers, but again, that's why I said that I put him in the bottom of B, because I think he is just
we'll
like
have
most
to,
killers.
We'll have to find a middle ground.
Yeah.
We'll have to find a middle ground here.
Yeah, I usually do when I make tier lists. I have a B plus and just a B tier, and I have Deathslinger in like high B, which is just the average part, and then B plus is just its own thing.
I just think he's so
So,
overrated. I don't
so I'm,
think
I'm
he's
trying
that
to figure
good.
out where the fuck this would be on this list, so I can.
I don't know. Probably
Figure
around
that
Doctor
out.
Huntress.
I was gonna
think
say,
he should
I
I
be
would,
can
above
see-
yeah, I would say
to-
around there.
to between those two, but I don't think. Well,
100. Okay.
I might say he's better
I
than Huntress.
I think he's better than Huntress. I do.
I might concede
Yeah,
to that.
if you
I
let me
think
put
he's-
him over Huntress, I will not fight you if you want to put Springtrap over him.
Oh yeah, I'll put him above Huntress easily.
Okay, then I'm okay. I'm okay then.
It's just that I think that he has so much more downtime, and he can't snowball either. Just to put that out there, like, because of the fact that you have to shoot, reel, hit, reload, catch up. Like, it's just he has a lot of downtime. He has a lot of filler shit that he has to do. On
In
top
your
of
average
the normal
game, I think
killer cleanup.
Huntress. Yeah, in your average game, I think Huntress is better. But if we're both like everyone's sweating, then I think Deathslinger.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
peak slinger.
he's a weird one.
But peak slinger, like, if you've absolutely mastered the killer, you know all the weird shot spots, you know, like, how to manipulate your reel in, like, very interesting ways with your movement. You're really good at predicting, like, pathing and stuff like that, and knowing your distances and all that. Even then, I would not put him above Plague.
I wasn't gonna put him above Plague either. I was gonna put him below Plague.
Well, I just mean in terms of, like, who we have on the list right now, because as we get other
Yeah,
killers
yeah.
in A tier, I would still probably not put him above any of them, depending on who we pick.
Speaking of A
uh,
tier, speaking of A tier,
Yeah, Pyramid Head.
yeah, tunneling. The tunneling king, or at least to me, anyways, because of the cages. But I like the one thing that keeps Pyramid Head back is no mobility, and I think that's the one thing that keeps him back. Because I've seen some like really good Pyramid Heads. Holy shit, he can hit some from some pretty insane shots. Unfortunately, I am not that. I miss everything. But that's beyond my skill issue aside. That's beyond the point. His add-ons are notoriously some of the worst in the entire game.
Yeah.
I say his only good ones are the Black Strap, Wax Doll, Burning Man painting, and maybe you could make a case for Ceremony Crimson Book or whatever that one's called. It's the Sloppy Butcher one for the M2. But you could make a case for like any of those, even though you're probably not going to use Black Strap because Wax Doll's right there. But cages are all super good, are extremely good. Because he can just hook one person and then use the cage for the second one and then just tunnel out the last person on death hook. You can just do that. And I feel like if you play him normally, he's further down, but if you play like super tunnely and like super like nasty, he rises up significantly just because of how oppressive the cages can be.
Yep.
So what are we thinking? Below Spirit, maybe?
I think below
Although
Plague.
one
Oh,
weakness he
really?
has is that his build variety is shit
I can
because
go
the
below
cages
Yeah, that's exactly why.
dissuade him from use. He is that yeah he's predictable in build and his add-ons are
Yeah,
absolutely atrocious.
he has no add-ons. He has no perk variety.
Yeah,
It,
I'm okay with Below Plague.
similar to
I think that's
Slinger
fair.
too, he also gets like hard just W keyed if you, and it's like if you play zoning Slinger and zoning Pyramid Head, like yeah they're both gonna get free hits or whatever, but their chases are gonna take longer. And if you try to go for like fancy shots, then you're not playing the killer like to their optimal level, and they both drop down on the list. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
so yeah, I think just like Ketchup said, his biggest flaw is no mobility and his shitty add-on and perk pool. Other than that, he's fine. He's good.
So how do you feel about that catch-up Below Plague?
I'm fine with that. That's usually where I have him as well. I think he's really good once you get the hang of him, but he is like one of the most, in my opinion, I think he's like one of the biggest like game sense heavy killers because
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Blight.
it was absolutely a mistake to try and main him like when I first bought the game. That was a huge mistake, but
I'm just gonna throw Blight between Nurse and
Yeah, can we
Blight.
put
oh
Blight
yeah,
in
no, I was
second
about to say,
place
can
in
we
S?
skip Blight?
Not say anything.
Yeah, I don't really think we need to say anything. It's
He's broken.
keep fucking Blight. Twins.
Twins. This is gonna be a fun one. We like twins.
Blow Billy? Question mark?
That's crazy. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I was about to say
I'm
people
just trying to
sleep
get
on.
some of these kind of easy ones out.
Actually,
of the way, 'cause
yes,
you have
I have a
Yeah,
little
say
bit
t-
to say about twins.
Oh, go ahead.
I think right now, in the current state of the game, as they are, yes, I'd put them in S. However, if they were more popular, they would be lower on the list because I think that they're really easy to play against if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You just
Problem is, no one does.
their counterplay is the inverse of Legion, where instead of splitting up and not healing, you play in groups of two and you always heal. That's all you have to do.
Yeah, that's a big thing with twins. Twins is like the one killer where you actually do want to group up.
Yeah, exactly. They
Okay.
promote altruism, and I think that that's also really interesting just because of like how their character is designed, being like, oh, it's two twin killers that work together, so they force you to work together to beat them. I think that that's cool, like thematically, but
They're like one of the biggest pub stompers because of that.
yeah, I feel like if people just played grouped up against them, that they would instantly drop to like B tier. But right now, especially
mention
with
how-
the heal perk changes coming up too, they might drop.
As like not to mention how popular slugging is as well, and twins are basically the epitome of slugging.
So I think for now, yeah, I'll say S, but I think over time they'll probably drop down maybe.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm fine with that. Twink. Twinkster.
Yeah, true.
The Twinkster.
Can I throw out a suggestion between Clown and Hag?
I'm fine with that.
I think he's above Bubba, below Pig.
I'm okay with that too. That's fine.
Do we do in between and go but below Hag,
Let's do
above
between
Pig?
Yeah, let's do that.
I can't. I think
I
him and
hate
Bubba are the same strength level.
playing him and I hate facing him.
So wait. Below Pig, above Bubba.
Yeah, I think him and Bubba are like the exact same killer.
Okay.
It sounds weird, but yeah.
Oh, all right. I guess I'll move him down one spot
Yeah,
then, because I put him between Hag and Pig. But okay.
Nemesis.
Nemesis, I fucking love this killer. Nemesis is
How do I
goated.
feel about Nemesis?
He's good right now, like really good.
I think people act like he's still bad and he's just not.
No,
He's
really
no,
strong.
not with liquor tongue, not with liquor
Yeah.
tongue at the moment.
Yeah, no,
I
he's
think this might be
good.
the sad moment where I have to say Freddy's not the top of B tier anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll send you a gif of a sad violin later.
Yeah, no,
I think
he's
Freddy's
just
been,
he's really
dethroned.
good.
What
Yeah,
the
Nemesis.
fuck?
Yeah, and the main thing Nemesis has is that he's kind of just a jack of all trades character because the one thing he doesn't really have that hurts him a fair bit is mobility. But even then, if luck's on your side, the zombies can do that, can sort of help you with that a little bit. And that's another big thing with him. He himself isn't very RNG reliant if you're just playing him as just regular Nemesis. But the fact that he has the zombies with him and the zombies are basically out of your control outside of if you run add-ons or perks that make sound cues or force people to interact with the zombies, then you kind of can't really do anything regarding the zombies, which is a shame. I wish he had like a secondary power that would let him like manually control like where zombies go or something.
Yeah.
Or like he could choose where zombies spawn or something like that. But yeah,
He's
no,
good, though.
he is one of, if not the best palette shredder in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So, like literally, I think I was watching Fake Minette interview a Nemesis main. He said, "Why do you main Nemesis?" Because fuck palettes. I'm like, honestly, that's the most base response I've
Yeah,
ever
horse
heard in
around.
my life.
No, real,
All right.
real as fuck. He just chews through the map like crazy, and his
Oh yeah, and he's like, and if you get Hawkins or Gideon with him, you're gonna have a great game
mm-hmm. No, he's
because
cool.
he absolutely shreds those maps.
Cinnabite.
Ooh,
Ooh, Larry and Fuzz is gonna have to pay
This
attention to
is
this one because he
hard,
mains
man.
this character.
we might be on this one for a minute because I have a very strong opinion on Pinhead. I'm a big
I think
Pinhead
he's B.
believer.
That's all I'm gonna say for now. I want to see what
Hell
you two think.
no.
Where? Okay, you go ahead, Yoshi.
Yeah, you go first.
I'll just say my placement now, and I'll put him on my tier list. He's above Pyramid Head.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy. I know, but think
Yeah,
about
no,
it.
I don't
don't
100%
see it.
agree with that.
I don't see
but
it.
Okay,
But go ahead.
maybe if you're playing solo queue against people that aren't coordinated
no,
for
hear
the
me out.
box,
Think about it,
then
because I
sure.
even feel this way against coordinated teams, right? So he has. We're going to talk about the box first because I think that surprisingly, as much as people say it's the most important part, I think it's the least important part in terms of like strength in that aspect of like coordinated teams. Because obviously in solo queue it's going to fuck them over, but Swifts don't care about the box. But still, having one person constantly not doing anything because they're always going for your box means that you're constantly playing a 3v1, and that's really good for an M1 killer. And if they do solve the box, instead of kidnapping it, that gives you information and a mobility tool to a certain degree. Obviously, they can control it, but it's still something that you have, and it's still, like, decent, right? So the fact that he is, like, a free base kit passive slowdown that forces one person to not do generators, that he also has constant info on and can teleport to at any time, is really strong. That's just the one aspect of his power. On top of that, obviously you can down them and actually like take the box and activate the chain hunt, and then you can start getting a snowball rolling by repeatedly chaining your chain hunts together, which probably won't happen too often against coordinated teams, but happens a lot in solo queue, especially if you understand the box logic. But the actual like M2 power itself, people don't understand the skill ceiling that it has. Like for example, I guarantee, if not both of you, but one of you might not even know this. If you hit the survivor in certain parts of the body, it changes where the chains spawn. So, like, if you hit them in the head or in the shoulders, it'll spawn the chains above them, which means that they can't break it by going around a corner or going around objects anymore because it's above instead of coming from the side. Or if you hit them, say, in their left arm, then all of the chains will spawn in that left side. So they'll spawn, like, in a row going up, so it'll be like 2 on the bottom and then 1 on the top. Or if you hit them like in the leg, then they'll spawn on the lower back side of their body. Like you actually have to unironically aim the chain at specific parts of their body to manipulate where they spawn to allow you to play certain tiles. And it gives him the highest skill ceiling in the game, in my opinion.
Not to mention that survivors can also just use his own body to break the chains, which I think is bullshit.
Well, the thing is with that is that also adds to him, because when the chains break on your body, it force spawns AI chains. So you can do this really cool tech where, say you shoot a chain at somebody, and then they're going around a corner. Instead of letting them break the chains on the environment, you break it with their body, so that way their break progress stops on the first chain and goes to the second one. Then you counter rotate to force them to double back into the AI chain, and then they get grabbed by another chain. Like, you can abuse and manipulate that. It's just that it's so fucking difficult to do. He's the hardest killer in the game. But I think his potential is so ridiculously high just because of, like, chain manipulation. It's just that nobody knows that it's a thing except for, like, 2 or 3 Pinhead players in the world. But he's so crazy cool. If you actually, like, learn this stuff and take the time to do it and you go play him and practice it, you see, like, how nutty he can actually be. When the announcement that he was getting removed from the game happened, I one-tricked him until he got taken out. I learned so much. He's so crazy. I think I only used Pain Res as my 1 slowdown perk, too.
Interesting. I don't know. I'm sitting here looking at it. I don't know.
Like, I think if we're
I
talking...
don't know how I feel either.
If we're talking how majority plays him and we're just talking about, like, generalist skill flora, like, the basics of knowing box logic and just hitting your chains on people, sure, I can concede to him being in B, like top of B, or below Nemesis or whatever.
I would like him below Freddy, but I think I could put him over Nemesis.
I can even concede to putting him below Freddy, but I think at his peak, like if someone ever truly comes out and masters the killer at that peak skill ceiling, I think he would go up like a lot. Like I would predict he would be above Spirit level. It's just that it takes a superhuman computer to be able to do that. Cause
I agree he has a very high skill ceiling. I absolutely agree with that.
Oh yeah, easily.
I only say this because the big Pinhead player, everyone knows Field Agent Reaper. And then Pixel Bush plays Pinhead too. But there is a Pinhead player on console that does not use any social media and has all his messages and like his friend requests and everything on private. And his name is Resolute Tempest. And I've played against this guy several times, and he is that Pinhead. He is the guy that can do those things that I was talking about. I have never escaped a game against him, and I have never played a game against him where we've done more than one gen, and he doesn't use gen slowdown perks or add-ons. He's just this enigma master of this killer that doesn't talk to anybody. And he's terrifying.
It's like Pinhead himself. He doesn't do anything until you get his buff.
He shows up, he beats your ass, and he leaves and doesn't say anything, and he's fucking scary.
Must be going now.
This feels like a horror movie thing.
Yeah, like that. Okay. That guy is just a beast. So he made me a Pinhead believer.
Above Slinger, below Freddy, we're thinking.
Yeah, I can.
I was thinking between Nemesis and Freddy, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with either.
I'm gonna throw out a suggestion for artist. Above Demogorgon.
Whoa! Uh-oh.
She is being hit hard, man.
Okay, then again, we don't know if. Then, to be fair, we also don't know if her add-on things are gonna go.
Well, yeah,
through,
but how are we gonna rank Springtrap then? Because I don't think the haste add-ons.
Well, I don't think his base kit is gonna get changed.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is those haste add-ons will move him up quite a bit. I think.
Even without the haste, I would still put him in the same relative spot.
Yeah, artist is going to be a weird one because she's getting changes next patch, so it's going to be weird.
Okay, I can move her up a bit some, but that's where I would put her right now.
I think if we're talking with the add-on changes, I would put her like... I still think I'd put her above like Doctor, maybe? Like around that area? Either above or below Doctor. Fine. But if it's before...
Above Doctor.
If we're talking before the add-on changes, though, I think she's above Pyramid Head.
I think we should talk after, because we got Springtrap on here.
Yeah, we're talking after. I'll put her below Huntress and above Doctor.
Okay.
Yeah, for now, let's just do above. Let's just assume PTB stuff for now until we get patch notes.
Sadako.
I'm a believer.
I don't think she's D, but I think she's close to it.
I do too, yeah.
Because I think she has just enough to get her out of D, but then again she is still M1 killer. Like she has map traversal, she has built-in slowdown, and if survivors don't participate in the slowdown, she just auto wins the game because of it. But when people do take the time to learn the condemn, which is not hard by the way, I don't get why she's hard to play against. I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't get
it's literally just it's grab a tape at the start of the game, hold on to it until you're about 3 or 4 stacks, deposit it, rinse, repeat until you're gone. I just about never die to condemn against Sadako. She is not hard to play against. I don't get why she's hard to play, but yeah,
I'm currently thinking between Trickster and Bubba.
I would go below Bubba, but above Myers, personally.
I kind of agree with Kassir on between Trickster and Bubba, but I also...
That's fine.
Okay. Personally,
I can concede to that. That's no big deal, because I mean, to be fair, Sadako does have built-in slowdown, and she can tell, and she has like really good map traversal.
I just have a really like strong opinion of her. Like I would, if it were my personal list, I would put her higher. But I'm willing to concede because I know most people don't think she's that good. I just think she's underrated.
Usually when I make rankings like this, I have Sadako in like low to mid C, somewhere around there. It's just I'm trying to take into account how we have our ranking system because I have like 50 more tiers like in between these, so I'm trying to figure out in relation to who.
If it were me with this same list, I would put her around like Demo or Clown, just being real. But Like I said, I can concede to putting her above Bubba because I do think that they share very similar strengths. Like
Hell, you can make an argument to put her above Trickster and Pig just because she has
Okay, with that
mobility.
too.
She can get around.
I don't know if I can do above Peg because Peg can straight up kill somebody. I'll put her above Trickster.
Sadako can
Don't
also
bother me.
straight up kill somebody though.
Wait, shit, you're right.
She does it better actually. So
Honestly, it might be better. I'll put her above Pig. Fuck it.
I'll put her above Pig. I don't even think that
Now,
they
do we-
can.
Put her
now,
above
how do we-
Hag.
Yeah, so like, do we want to say fucking and put her above Hag too?
I'll put her above Hag. I
Yeah,
think Hag's
I'll
kind
put her
of dog
above
shit,
Hag.
so I don't mind it. I won't put her
Alright,
above Clown, though, I'm
so
sorry.
we
This is
went
where she fucking stops.
Oh yeah, no, she's not beating Clown.
yeah.
I think
JC Glitchmaster, if you watch this, I hope you are happy with us being generous with Sadako.
Oh no, I think Sadako's goated. Like I love playing her. She was my first P100.
I do too. I think she's great. I love her.
I think her.
She was the reason I started playing Dead by Daylight again. Once I found out the Ring Lady was in the game, like, oh,
I
hell
came
yeah,
back
I wanna
during
play
her
this.
chapter.
Me too.
'Cause, Nemesis made console unplayable.
Yeah.
And I came back for Dredge her chapter.
I quit.
Speaking of though, Dredge.
We're gonna be here for a little while.
Yeah, we are. This is gonna be the
because all
long-winded
three of us
one.
have different. Because all
I
three of
have
us have
I have a
wildly
take on this
different thoughts
killer.
on Dredge, so I think we're gonna
Okay.
be on this one for a little bit.
Who's talking?
Should I
Dredge
just throw out my
first?
take? I can
wait,
just throw out my take.
Here's what we do.
Yeah, let's do Kassir first. I think Kassir views it the worst out of everybody here.
Oh,
Below Bubba, above
really?
Myers.
Whoa, hell no. What?
Yeah, no,
This killer
nah.
fucking sucks.
You're smoking something.
This killer is next level dog shit.
No, you're
Yeah,
next
no,
level
this
dog
killer's
shit.
so
You're
fucking bad.
smoking next level.
This killer's
What do you
terrible.
mean?
This killer's so bad. You just walk away.
No, Dredge is not bad. You're crazy. That's insane.
Okay, where would you put the Dredge?
Let's see. I think a killer that has a pretty decent anti-loop ability that gets countered by holding W and chaining tiles. A pretty decent map traversal tool that has pretty painful points in terms of like map RNG. And a secondary ability that's kind of whatever. But the killer that's also like really good at hit and run, really decent at chase, really decent at mobility. Like he's just kind of mid at everything. I would put him above Artist, below Huntress, personally.
Oh my god.
For me, I was thinking
It hurts me.
Okay,
either
explain,
above Demo or above Wraith, one of the two.
Oh, it hurts me.
explain why you think the Dredge is bad. Going over
It is.
go over the powers bit by bit. So talk about like
Okay,
the Remnant
the
as
teleport.
a chase, then the teleport, and then the Nightfall.
Okay. All right, so the Remnant, they just walk away.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't walk away, it's a 50-50. So
Mm-hmm.
your percentage is 50. So it's not even a guaranteed hit, really.
Mm-hmm.
A teammate can run in and break it if they're a coordinated team. And then, like I said, they can run away. The teleport itself, it's pretty fast, to be fair. Locking lockers takes no time at all, which I think would be a really good buff to him if it took longer to lock lockers.
That I agree with. I think the lockers is too fast.
Also, smart survivors will lock one locker, and that automatically teleports you to that locker.
Yes.
He feels like a complete slog to play without Hattie's calendar.
Yep.
And Nightfall's a good power.
I would agree with the Hattie's calendar part if it wasn't made like 75% of the way base
I
kit
still think
on
you
that
need
one
it,
patch.
even with the change.
Oh, and speaking of last patch, if he still sounded like a fucking vacuum cleaner, then yeah, I would agree with him being a way lower.
Even then,
I can put him over Sadako.
So here's the thing. With what you were saying about the Remnant, right? It's a power that you put down at a loop that is a 50-50 if the survivor stays. Otherwise, it forces them to W key. Is that not
It's
just
more
like
they're
Artist's power? Artist M2?
Yeah, but Artist has, like, range. He can snipe people.
Yeah, but like at a
else?
base like floor, it's like in terms of close range loop, it's just like Artist M2, right?
I suppose.
not to mention since you can also
Also,
just
Artist doesn't get slowed when she's doing... Sorry, catch up. Artist doesn't get slowed when she's putting birds, I'm pretty
Yes,
sure.
she does.
Dredge gets slowed way the fuck
She
down.
gets slowed down while placing and
Dredge
while
gets-
firing and while recovering her cooldown.
Oh,
What's Artist
I don't
slowdown
play
period
Artist.
when she's holding crows out?
have no idea. I don't
Period?
play
You
her.
mean like how low it goes down to?
Like what's her speed when she's holding M2 for crows?
I think she's 110. It's not as bad
Yeah,
as
it's
Dredge,
faster than Remnant.
but she
That's
still
way
has
Yeah,
better
Dredge
than
is like
Remnant.
3. Yeah, Dredge is like 3.8.
But when she
holding
fires the
Druid.
birds and when she's waiting for her cooldown, she's moving at 3 point something. I think it's 3.86 or something like that.
If you're firing the birds, that means the survivor theoretically didn't leave the loop, so they're gonna get hit.
Well, if they leave the loop and you shoot them to swarm them, yeah, you did.
And
why would you shoot them if they left the loop? I mean,
To swarm them.
they have to put them.
If they W key.
They have to put themselves in a position to get hit by the birds, though, which is still a win for you.
Not if they just like jump in a locker. Or they dodge the
If they
second
jump in
bird.
a locker mid chase, they're losing a lot of distance. though. I just don't think he's comparable to Artist at all.
I think
I
like
don't-
on a base level of just like put thing at loop and walk around loop to get a hit, yeah, it's like the same as Hag, it's the same as Clown, it's the same as Artist.
Only the difference here is that with Dredge, you can
just
just
don't
since
think
he
he's
can
good.
teleport directly to the Remnant. If you manage to corral a survivor in a way with the Remnant to where they're forced into a dead zone, or they have to play the 50-50 and they can't run, then even like the slightest like distance change, you can just teleport right back and or cancel
Well, yeah,
Remnant
like
and just
take an auto
free hit
haven
him
map,
there.
right, as an example. Take like Azara's resting place with like all the chaining jungle gyms in the center. In theory, no, Dredge shouldn't be able to play that because it's a bunch of chain tiles, so the survivor just changed the tiles together. But that's where the strength of the Remnant comes in, is that you're supposed to place it between the chained tiles, so that way if they want to W key, you just teleport and cut them off. And if they double back fake it, you're forcing them to now play the tile where you have a Remnant in it. He corrals and he zones in a similar way to Clown or to Doctor, which is why I think he's like around that level. But on top of that, unlike those
them, he
killers,
has mobility.
Exactly.
Well, no,
unlike
yeah,
them,
I
he has
agree. He's
mobility.
around Clown. That's why I say we can put him under Clown. I'll put him over Sadako. You could, I would even put him above Clown. I can't put him over Demo. I don't see it.
And
Why
I don't
not,
think he's
though?
over Demo. I'll agree with
Demo
you
is-
there. I don't think he's over Demo.
I don't see
but
it. Demo's so fucking good.
I think he's over Demo solely for the fact that when Demo walks up to a loop, he presses M2 and it's a 50-50 of like, is he
Well, that's
going...
Dredge too.
Yeah, but the difference is that Dredge can just be like, oh, I'll just cancel my power and then walk around to the other side and then place a Remnant here and then zone them around back. Like, I'm
Have
thinking...
you seen Demo Zone?
Yeah, I know. Demo presses M2 and walks forward and you drop the pallet or you don't. But Dredge takes more steps. I understand that. But I think it's more consistent. Like, Dredge... Demo is easier than Dredge. But I think Dredge has more potential. And I also think that the fact that that's not his only power... Like, him and Demo both have mobility, right? But his mobility is faster. He doesn't have to set it up and he can pick wherever he wants to go.
It's faster in Nightfall, I think.
Even the base
But
teleport... No, I don't mean like the speed.
Demo's 32.
No, I don't mean the speed. I mean like the activation. The fact that Demo has to place a portal, then go into it, then travel through it, then come out. Whereas Dredge just like... You already have Remnant placed down while you're chasing somebody. If you want to rotate to a different target, like if your Discordance goes off or something, you just boop, pop it, and now you're on the other side of the map. Even if the locker is locked. Like, you can still just do that. And
also
that's
in Nightfall,
without
also in
Nightfall,
Nightfall, like also in Nightfall, you can use Remnant for info tracking. You don't have to teleport to a locker for the Killer Instinct. You can just teleport back to your own Remnant
yeah,
for
that's
free
true.
Killer
His
Instinct,
Nightfall,
and then
he gets really good
and
info.
then you can, and then you get your Remnant back in like 3 seconds.
Also,
as well, so you can just spam the shit out of it for Killer Instinct. info.
Another thing, his add-ons are good. Like,
oh yeah, he has one. I think he has one of the better sets of add-ons in the game. I
Caffeine-
think he's pretty cool.
caffeine tablets is really strong. Nobody uses it, but it's really strong. It
I
while
need
you
to
have
remind
the
myself
Remnant
what that one was.
placed, it highlights locked lockers in yellow. So if you're chasing somebody and you see a locker get locked, you know that there's somebody over there. That's free info. Mouth Anchor Skull, you get Nightfall faster. Hattie's Calendar is still really good. Worry Stone or Reveal on lock lockers, like on the Survivor's actual aura.
Yeah, Broken Doll, Automarian Writing.
Yep, Boat Key, Automarian,
Boat Key.
Doll.
Pretty much all his purples besides maybe Tilling Blade.
Even then, Tilling Blade got buffed.
I guess we can put him over Demo, but I just don't see it.
He's so good.
To get past it, I guess we can do it, but
I
think he's
find it
terrible.
hilarious how Dredge has like so many like
I think
pretty
he's so
like
bad.
really good add-ons, and then there's Eerie Plank and Sacrificial
Yeah, we
Knife.
don't talk about his Eries. Also, his perk builds
Yeah, his
too.
Eries are ass.
He can run whatever fucking perks he wants since he's an M1 with mobility.
Exactly.
I guess we'll put
Friends
him over
till the
Demo.
end is such a fucking good
Friends,
perk on
Make
him.
Your
It's
Choice,
actually
Sloppies,
mid.
Debiffle, Rapid, Surge, pop, whatever. He can do everything.
Not to mention info perks are also a godsend on him as well.
His problem, to be fair to Bailey here, his problem is that he's like, he has a little bit of everything. He's just not good at any of it. He's mediocre at all of it. I'll concede to that fact, but I think the fact that him and Demo both have like all of the same tools of like chase tool mobility, but then he also has Nightfall and better add-ons is what puts him above Demo.
I can put him over Demo. It hurts me, but I'll do it.
Alrighty, above Demo it is then. Alright, Wesker.
Wesker. I can throw out a suggestion.
Mr. 7 Minutes.
I have a hard time placing Wesker.
I do too, but I feel kind of confident about this. Below Pinhead.
I still think, in my opinion, I still think he's A, but on the lower end of it because he's getting power crept by some other killers. But then again, I also have Houndmaster in like high B plus normally, so I have no idea.
Wesker.
I think Houndmaster is also dog ass.
I know you do, which is crazy to me.
Wesker's hard. Like I don't disagree with you because I do think he's like his chase is similar to Deathslinger, it's just that he has mobility. I would almost say he's above Pinhead, below Freddy. Like I'd barely move him that one slot, but I also
I could do that. He does have slowdown.
I don't know if I think he's worse than Freddy.
Yeah, unlike Nemesis, his slowdown, his infection actually matters.
I think we could put him above Pinhead.
His add-ons are crazy too, though. That's another thing. He has better add-ons than everyone in B tier.
Who, Wesker?
Yeah, Lab Photo and Eerie Vial are disgusting. And what is it? Megaphone,
Egg,
Jewel Beetle, Egg, Unicorn
egg.
Medallion.
Yeah, Unicorn Medallion.
Alright, I'll put him over Pinhead.
Alright.
Yeah, I can agree to that.
Alright, Knight.
Knight.
Ooh.
We need to page Z and Pixie right now.
Do we all like Knight here? Yes. Like
I'm a
Knight's
Knight
pretty
fan.
cool. I like
Knight.
him.
I've been playing him a lot.
Knight was in my main rotation until Vecna came out. And then I dropped him because, in my opinion, Vecna just does Knight's job better.
It's funny because I dropped Knight when he got his rework because I didn't like the rework. I thought it made him boring, but he's all I've been playing recently, waiting for Springtrap.
No, I dropped him upon Vecna being released, and even the rework didn't make me start playing him again. I just stick to Vecna.
Knight's the GOAT.
Above Wraith?
Higher, I think.
Okay.
Do we want to go below Artist or above Artist?
I think above Artist, maybe.
Yeah, I think his because he can snowball, and he has good info, and
and he can completely deny flashlight saves because he can just place a guard before he picks up.
Like he has a lot of
goes
cool
over
just have it run
Huntress.
into his area.
Actually, he might go over Huntress.
I can. You know what? Hear me out. His guard placement thing is just a spirit phase, is it not? Like essentially in function, if you're using it in chase, like you hit a survivor and then you summon a guard and you chase them as if you're phasing a spirit, and then that guard detects that survivor and you rotate to somebody else or you go to cut them off.
Yeah.
Like I think that while it's a lengthy chase, it's still like a really good chase power. And on top of that, he can pressure other people while he's in chase with somebody. I would almost want to put him.
I would, if you're about to say put him in A tier because of the spirit thing, I'm like,
no, hell
That's
no.
where I thought it was going. I was like, what?
I was thinking maybe like below. I almost want to say below Pinhead. Like I want to put him above Deathslinger, but I also don't think. I think Deathslinger's chase is better. But I think
I'm fine with putting him above Huntress,
Let's
but
put him
I'm
above
not
Huntress.
convinced above Freddy.
I'll put him.
Put above
right
Huntress.
because I think his macro is really good. Like his map pressure's crazy.
Can we just skip Skull Merchant?
I was about to say, can we below
D.
Trapper? All right, Singularity S tier.
S tier. Above or below Twins? I personally think above Twins.
Above Twins.
I almost at one point convinced myself above Billy, but I was like, okay, chill the fuck out.
No,
Singularity
hell no.
was all. Singularity was already like really good prior to his buffs. The problem was just he felt really weird to play sometimes because of Soma Photo needing to be base kit so much. And then once they did all the quality of life stuff, it's like, oh, that's cool. And that now they made it partially base kit. Now you can have clear indication of when you can teleport and when the map's going to be the map. And then when they added a bunch of other stuff like auto aim and all that, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is way too much now.
The auto aim is the problematic
it was
part
overkill.
of the rework. I think it's other aspects.
Yeah, I don't think the audio aim's the issue. I think they just kind of... It's what I said about Oni. They took the brain out of the killer.
Well, I don't even think that necessarily. I think the problem is the fact that, like... Okay, my biggest issues with the rework are, one, the EMP crate staying at 95% or whatever. I think that's a stupid change.
It's like 97, yeah.
I think that's a stupid change, and that should be reverted, because he's already watching the... If he's playing Larry properly, he's watching the EMP crates with cameras, which means that now it's like... He can see you going for the EMP and then immediately teleport to you, because if you're going for an EMP, you're probably slipstreamed. And that feels like bullshit to play against, because now you're going to either pop your EMP, and then he's going to just slipstream you again while he's in chase with you, or you're not going to pop it, and now he can slug you, and you can't get rid of your slipstream. And it feels like bullshit. So I think getting rid of that change... And also the killer instinct, not when he infects you through the camera, but when it spreads to other survivors when they group up. I think that's horse shit. That needs to go. Aside from that, I also think no one really talks about it, but his Livewires add-on is fucking broken.
Yes, that is crazy.
It's been disgusting since he came out, but nobody ran it because of Soma and Rec Form. But it's with how he plays and how he works right now, it is disgustingly broken.
Oh, I would like to add lethal rec form is broken as shit.
Yeah,
also.
lethal. I think if you change rec form, you change Livewires, you rework Soma, and you get rid of the killer instinct on spread and the EMP crate being 95. I wouldn't change anything else. It's those 5 things.
He'd be A tier. He would still be a high A tier killer.
I would still argue he would still be S tier. It's just that he would field less shit to play against.
Yeah.
I will say though that if I did have to main a top tier, it probably would be Singularity.
He's the one. I love Hillbilly. Though,
it's like I played him. I played him a shit ton even before his rework. I think he's just so fun. I love him. If I did have to main a top tier, it'd be him.
Yeah, we love Larry.
Are we comfortable moving on
to Xenomorph?
Singularity.
Yeah, Xenomorph.
Xeno, yeah.
I love
Brand's killer.
Can I? Man.
I love Xenomorph.
Yeah, Xeno's cool. I like her.
Above Wesker. Thoughts?
Ooh, that's spicy. Explain.
I don't know about that, because if survivors put their turrets well, then literally doesn't have
I'll hear it out though. Explain. I need to know.
Well, I just think the tail is really good in chase, and you can get it back really easily. And the harpoon gun, I'm trying to remember them all off the top of my head. The harpoon's the one I use. That's why I was able to remember it immediately.
Yeah, harpoon, self-destruct,
Ash's innards, I think it is. Rations. Like, it has really good add-ons.
See, I think Ash's innards
is really
good
still.
Still.
Wait, is that the wrong one? What am I thinking
That's
of?
the one where the turret stays destroyed longer, or it takes longer to respawn.
No, what's the exhaustion one?
Oh, the molten skin.
Molten skin's really good. Like, it's got good add-ons now. I think it's a good killer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now that it's not required to run Lambert's star map and emergency helmet 24/7 anymore, that did give Xenomorph
emergency
other
helmet's
add-ons
kind of dog shit
now,
but Lambert's is still really good.
Yeah, Lambert's
exactly. Like that.
Crazy.
Like that's the point. The fact that it got emergency helmet partially base kit. No.
Yeah.
The fact you can run harpoon gun, bolt, semiotic keyboard's really good. Molten skin. The other helmet, I think it's Kane's helmet. The headset is still really good. Just saying. People said it was bad now, but I don't agree. Star map, light wand, cereal rations, overmorph. Like you have so many add-on options. Surprisingly decent perk variety for an M2 killer too, might I add? Because
it is a shame that it's a shame you can't use stealth add-ons. The stealth perks though, because the turrets give you away.
Mm-hmm.
I also want to add on, in your public matches, motherfuckers just put turrets by the portals.
Oh yeah, motherfuckers do not know how to place turrets by the at all.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's why people complain about Xeno so much, because they don't know how to put the turrets up, and they complain like, "Oh, the turrets are super weak." And I think that's what led to the entire Xeno almost got fucking nuked on the Tokyo Ghoul PTB.
It's so funny too, because in Japan, Xeno is considered bottom 1 worst killer in the game.
Dog shit. Yeah.
Yeah, because the tail's extremely good once you like know how to use it, but But if survivors take the time to like put turrets on like different elevations or double up on turrets and all that, then Xeno can't do anything about that.
Because I think if survivors were able to do that, Xeno would be A tier. But there is skill expression to the survivor counterplay, and good survivors can really fuck the Xenomorph up.
Which is admittedly cool and interesting design. In my opinion.
I like it. I like Xeno's counterplay a lot.
It's also a bit of a sensory overload on this killer as well, because you're getting shots, Xeno's screaming, flame turret sounds are going nuts, and you have to go out of your way for that. So I think they need to tone that. Yeah, I think they have to tone that. I think they have to tone that down a little bit. But my thought process for Xeno to help with that a little bit, and it also would allow Xeno to run stealth perks again, would be make the turrets only beep if he's in the tunnels. Don't let
That
them
would be
beep
cool.
if he's on the surface.
I like that.
If he's on the surface, he still has his Terrarius, and he can mess with it, and he can use
Especially since you have a
his
smaller
like
PR
monitor
base
or
too.
other stealth perks. And then if he's in the tunnels, that's when the turrets start beeping.
Are we comfortable putting him above Wesker?
I'd say below Wesker, but yeah.
I would
Okay,
say below
I can do
Wesker,
below
but I
Wesker,
think
that's fine.
above Pinhead.
Because I think he has the same
Dude,
strengths
our
and weaknesses
fucking
as
B
Pinhead.
tier is so fucking populated.
That's DVD,
This is-
man.
See, this shit's why I have B+ on my list because of this.
Well, I don't think this killer will be in B. Chucky.
Chucky.
I think above. Oh man, wait.
Chucky.
Do I think he's better than Plague?
No, hell no. What are you smoking?
Oh, he's so good now.
He's not that good. He's a fucking 110
Pyramid
killer
Head?
with really fast chases. He's just Death Slinger,
Yeah,
but
but he
short.
kills you immediately.
wait.
Above
He's Death Slinger.
Pyramid Head.
Him and Death Slinger are
I'm-
so similar.
I'm abstaining from this one because I don't know what the hell's going on.
I'll put
with
him
Chucky
under
at the
Pyramid
moment,
Head.
so I'm gonna
I think
abstain.
he's better than Pyramid Head, but if you want, I'll put him below.
No, I have to fight that. That's not true. That's slander.
We're not.
Chucky
we're not putting him
slander.
in B tier.
He's B tier.
No, he's not. You are so wrong.
What do you
That's
mean?
Crazy. Oh, you are next level wrong.
No,
That's
no, no,
crazy.
no. Okay.
This is the cue for me to go grab some
Hear
popcorn.
me
I'll
out.
BRB.
Tell me what perk or not? Well, I guess perks too. What perks Chucky uses well that are
He
not
doesn't need
generic
perks.
gen slowdown perks?
He just destroys you. His chases are so fast. Dark Arrogance is really good on him. I learned
Yeah,
that
Death
from
Slinger
Levi.
are the same thing though, right?
That's why I thought Deathslinger was A tier.
And like Freddy even, or Huntress, they two tap you. That's their thing. It's just that
No,
he
but
also
Freddy two taps you if you fuck up. Chucky two taps you because Chucky M1s you and then instantly catches up with dash. Not
but
saying he's overpowered, but I think he's A tier.
I think
I'll put him at the bottom of A tier. I think he's better than everyone in B tier.
he's just
like
he
quite a
doesn't
bit.
have enough good perk variety outside of generic gen slowdown slop or chase perk slop. He has like in terms of add-ons, you have jump rope, power drill, hairspray, and then running shoes and
Amulet.
I was about to say
I think
running
Amulet's
shoes.
good too.
Amulet's okay. It's not crazy.
The mangled add-ons all right.
Only if you play in a
he-
specific play style.
Like even him just having like synergy with slowdowns. Like Pyramid Head has no perk synergy beyond like aura reading.
Yeah,
you
but the
know?
difference there is that Pyramid Head's really good at just tunneling somebody and killing them without any
Yeah, but Chucky's
counterplay.
really good at chase. Like really good at chase.
Yes, his chase is really good. Admittedly, his chase is really good. But it still comes at the cost of him being a 110 killer with no mobility, a cooldown on his power, really bad map pool, really bad perk pool, and really meh add-on pool. Like, tell me all the maps Chucky's good on. It's like Dead Dog?
Chucky, I don't think Chucky has any bad maps other than like Midwich.
That's so cap! What?
I just don't agree. I think Chucky is a really good killer.
No, dude.
I'm just abstaining because I don't know enough about this killer.
I'll tell you what.
They keep changing him every other patch. I don't know what's going on.
I'll tell you what. Can we make B tier less bloated and maybe move like Nemo and Freddy up, and then put
You wanna
Chucky at top of B?
No, because I think Chucky's better than both of them.
I don't see it, man.
You made me move Dredge all the way from dog shit, and I didn't see that.
Because Dredge isn't dog shit.
But Chucky's really good.
I didn't say he wasn't really good. I just think that he has more downsides than the other killers in his own tier.
Well, I'll keep him at the bottom of A. I'm fine with that. I just think he's an A tier killer.
But I think Nemesis and Freddy, and maybe not Wesker, but I think Nemo and Freddy are better than him. Like, genuinely.
Okay. Let's make a fucking, like, deal or no deal type situation here, okay?
Mhm.
I will put Nimmy Freddy above Chucky if we keep Chucky in A tier, at the bottom of A tier.
So you want to move Nemo and Freddy up to A?
I will put them in A, but Chucky has to stay below them in A.
Yeah, no, I
I don't see Chucky B tier. I cannot.
Because my thing
see
is,
that
like,
at all.
we were talking about it before the podcast a little bit. I don't look at the tiers as S, A, B, C, D. I look at it as, like, top 5, top 10, whatever. And if he was above Nemesis and he was below Pyramid Head, that would put him as top 10, and I don't think he's top 10. I think he's top
There's also
15.
more
I don't think
killers
he's
that
top
aren't
10.
added. Like look at the killers left. These are all strong killers.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, wait, that's fair. Okay, so here's what I'll do is I'll put
A
him at
tier's about to
the...
get say A tier's about to get pretty
a lot
bloated.
more
I'll
Yeah, like, I don't-
concede and put him at the bottom of A, and then we'll reposition afterwards.
So should I put Nemesis and Freddy back in B for now?
Yeah, for now, I have Nemesis and Freddy and
Okay.
B and Chucky at the bottom of A, and I'll wait until
Okay.
we place
Yeah,
the others.
I'm not saying Chucky's like, even mid A. I like on my list I did recently. I think I had him A minus.
Yeah, I think
But
he's
I just-
bottom of A, top of B area. I can agree to
like
that.
these, I could be convinced that all these killers left are A tier.
I just
if-
think
if
a
we
lot of
argued
the
it.
killers that are at the top end of B tier are better than him. Like, I think
You can
Wesker
convince
is
me,
better.
like you can convince me probably Nemi, Freddy, and bottom A. I don't know about Wesker anymore. He's being power creep really hard, but that might just be propaganda.
I still think Wesker's
Anyways.
better than Chucky, but I will also concede to putting him over him for the sake of, like...
Fucking Chucky tearing apart Stakeout. This motherfucker.
the good guy.
Okay. The Unknown.
Goated.
At the very least, above Huntress.
I think
I think
This was a
Unknown's
killer
better.
that I thought A tier. Yeah, maybe. Where do you think in A tier?
low
I would
end
say-
of A tier.
Yeah,
Low
I would
Chucky
say
or above
lower
Chucky?
A as well, because I mean,
Above.
he's a range killer that for one he doesn't give a fuck about indoor maps because he can shoot you through the floor or through walls because of the UVX blast
And the
radius.
bounce, too.
He
bounce
has
around corners.
yeah, exactly. He has that. He can put down little clones that he can teleport to, which helps with his mobility if survivors don't deal with it.
Also, his
And-
add-ons are
yeah,
really good. Like his add-ons
his-
are really fucking good.
Yeah,
Let's go
both
above
his
Chucky.
I say both
Yeah.
his Eries are pretty good. I use Capture the Dark like 24/7. That thing's super.
That is
feels
so broken. That's
good.
gross.
It's like, no, Capture by the Dark is just such a good add-on.
No, yeah, I agree with above Chucky, below Pyramid Head. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Vecna.
My goat is up next.
The baddest
Okay.
lich.
Yeah, the baddest lich in town. Hell yeah.
What you think?
So normally on
this
my
is
own
after the
list,
PTB,
I keep.
By the way.
Yeah, this is post
Post-PTB.
PTB. So currently, whenever I make lists, I have Vecna at, like, either the very top of B plus or like one or two spots below, depending on who I'm feeling at the moment. With the current changes happening, no joke, I think he's going to be low A.
That's what I was
Oh,
saying.
and my
too.
chair's about to break. That's cool.
Ooh.
I used to put him B
But-
plus, but after these buffs, I don't see how he can't be low A.
I put him below
Yeah, no,
Chucky, though.
I could put him below Chucky. That's fine.
Yeah, I think he's below Chucky.
I'll agree for now because you're lucky I don't know much about Chucky, but
I
otherwise
will
I
play
would be
That's how
my
it is.
role for
otherwise I will be
now.
fighting you. But so I'm like, you are lucky I don't know much on this
The
killer. So
only reason-
otherwise
This is
we
a hot take.
otherwise we would be here for another 30 minutes.
The only reason I say
Arguing
below is
about
because he's
Chucky.
also getting add-ons nerfed, so I think that plays into it.
A lot of his add-ons are mainly just becoming partially base kit,
Also
so it won't
Interloper.
be that big a deal. But the big
Interloper's
one
stupid.
but the big thing here is going to be he gets all his spells from the start of the game now. He gets he's getting a net nerf to his post-fly hit time, which I think they need to, which I think is annoying, but it's
Yeah.
fine. And interlopers for some reason are getting buffed.
Yeah. They changed the
Those
magic
are like-
items,
those are like-
and they
the rest
revert
of-
the add-on nerfs, and I think he's above Chucky.
Yes, pretty much. Yeah, I would be fine with that. But yeah, I think with the current changes, I don't see why he wouldn't be low A.
I was already
No.
calling him B plus before this patch.
Oh yeah,
thought
no, he was
really
good. He's always been good.
Oh yeah, no, I think prior to this patch, I think he was like top of B plus or very close to
that's
the
how I
or
felt,
like
too.
one or two spots from top of B plus because he has everything a killer would want. But the problem is that like all his spells have base kit counterplay, and then the magic items make him super RNG based, especially the D20 ones.
I think on
Although to be fair, if they get the D20 ones, you just have a free invitation to tunnel them
yeah,
because you can
I
just moor
think
them off the ground.
I think today, as in like the today we're recording this, I think I would have put him below Nemesis probably, but with the 9.0, I would put him below Chucky.
Oh, I think if
it's
we're
probably a
talking
good
current
place.
day, I probably would have put him around like Xeno, like above or below Xeno.
Yeah, that's fair too.
See, I had
All right.
I had him above all of them, but like at the very top of B plus personally.
I
But
can agree.
I'd be fine with that placement as well.
All right, moving on. This one might be an
Dracula. Oh
argument.
God, Dracula.
I have a take on this killer. I think it's relatively accepted.
What would that be?
Above twins?
I think he's above Singularity, but
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I
get
think
I'm okay
shot.
with that too. Yeah, I'm okay with that too.
I
For
think
me
Dracula's
personally-
broken.
Yeah.
For me, last time I made a tier list, my top 5 was Nurse, Blight, Koniki, Drac, and Hillbilly, personally. And Drac and Billy, in my opinion, are like interchangeable because one has
there's
way
so
more
many
map
S
coverage
tiers,
and the ability to
fucking
insta
stupid.
down, but the other can handle indoor maps significantly better and can hit over pallets and
I
shit.
think Dracula's so fucking stupid broken.
I think this one for sure above Larry, but above
I'm fine
Billy,
with that.
I don't know.
This
Right
no,
now.
I would not put him above Billy.
No.
I would not put him above
Here-
Billy.
Can I rant about John Dracula?
And that's just because I have different values for my killers, so that's just me.
Yeah, you
personally.
can talk about Dracula for
I just want to rant about John Dracula, about why I hate this motherfucker. He represents everything that I hate about killer design moving forward in this game in terms of like power creeping old design, because they were like, let's give him Xenomorph tail on a cooldown without having to deal with flame turrets, because it works the same way in terms of like the height of things that you can hit over. It works the same as like Xenotail, just without the drag and drop. So it has a lower skill ceiling to it. So they were like, let's give him Xenotail, but without the turrets, and then let's give him Bat Form, which is like Spirit Phase, but with base kit Strider, and it also has a teleport, and it has like a almost map-wide lullaby, so it makes him like a pseudo-stealth killer while he's using it, and he could break pallets while he's doing it. And let's also give him Wolf Form, which, what the fuck is Wolf Form?
Why? So broken.
Okay, 115, third-person camera, low to the ground, dark as shit, really hard to see, so he can use stealth perks really well. So he can chuck spot. He has Wesker Dash, essentially, but with a shorter windup and a shorter cooldown.
Less telegraphed, I think, too.
And it's way less telegraphed because he just and then he goes down to the ground and then
Wesker goes.
he can,
Wesker goes. What the, dude, everyone can hear that.
and then he can also break pallets with it. By the way,
Yeah.
So he strikes through pallets really quickly. They drop scent
He gets
orbs.
random haste.
They give him random ass Skull Merchant haste, and also give him his power cooldown back faster. And
Dude,
he has
oh my God.
I'm All Ears base kit with the vault shit, and he has Bloodhound base kit with the blood, and he has oh my God, what else? I've just he has
let me try to
everything.
think about that.
I hate him. He has everything.
Can I briefly talk about Killer Doll? That add-on is bullshit.
I forget what it does. Hold on, let me see.
You get 50% of your
oh yeah, the
pallets back
cooldown on the
per
orbs.
scent orbs.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Fucking stupid.
Oh, that was the other thing I was going to rant about. His add-on pool, fucking insane. Traveler's Hat, stupid. Clock Tower Gear, stupid. Winged Boots, stupid. Magical Ticket. Killer Doll. The...
what's it called? The
Force of
medallion,
Echo.
or whatever. Yeah, that's it. Force of
Force
Echo.
of Echo, stupid. Lapis Lazuli
the
and
talons
Medusa's
is kinda
hair.
dumb.
I forget what that one does. Oh, it reveals the
It
auras.
reveals the aura, yeah, further
Yeah.
away. It's kind of like more tracking.
Lapis and Medusa's hair. So he has Bamboozle in an add-on and a Clown Bottle in an add-on. Let's give him another fucking power. More fucking powers. Throw more powers at him. Give him an add-on that
Such
makes
a
his
bad-
Flame
that
Pillar
guy, I
auto-aim.
fucking hate him.
Like, why? You know that Eerie
will say,
add-on's really good, by the way, the auto-aim pillar?
Is it? I will say, I do think Hellfire's kind of weak, but it's fine because the rest of it is fucking ridiculous.
It's Xenotail on a 9-second cooldown, or 8 seconds, or whatever it is.
10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Is it 10? It was 7
Yeah,
when he
it's 10
came
seconds.
out. That shit was stupid. And he has 2 cooldown
I don't
add-ons that
like
he
him.
can use. So it
I don't
doesn't
like
even
him.
matter. He's stupid. He's stupid. I hate
think
him.
he's a bad design.
Also,
yeah.
he has like even
fun.
like the Moonstone necklace with monitor and abuse, so you can give the wolf a really small terror radius. Just for some fucking reason, like, you know, screw Chucky. Just give this guy like everything. Just give him stealth. Give him a third-person camera. Give him a dash. Give him 3 perks base kit. Give him really good add-ons. Give him 2 other powers. Make them both really good versions of other powers without any of the downsides. Like I said, give him an add-on that just gives him auto-aim on Hellfire, and an add-on that gives him an extra pillar to remove the downside of the Eerie add-on, so you just have the full Flame Pillar with auto-aim tracking to make it completely brain-dead. If you've never done it, it's so funny. Just run Sunglasses with Eerie Ring. It's the funniest thing you'll ever do.
All I'm gonna say is I find it extremely funny they release Vecna, and then the very next chapter they power corrupt
power
him.
They power
creeped him,
corrupt Vecna
yeah.
with Dracula. You know,
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, you guys are extremely lucky I play the weaker of the two, because I could very easily switch to Dracula. with
I
the
go
current
on
skill
so
set I
many
have.
crazy streaks with Drac too. Like I play him fairly often because I think he's really fun. Like genuinely, I like
He is
playing
fun.
him. But I hate what he
Oh yeah, I
represents.
think Drac's really fun. He's in my. I think he's really fun.
Yeah,
to use.
I don't like playing against him that much, but it's not even because I think he's like super busted, like not fun to play
Well, I
against.
like
or
playing against
anything.
strong killers. I love playing against fucking Billy. You
Yeah,
know?
like I don't even think it's. I don't hate him because he's strong. I hate him because of just what he represents, like what he does to the game, and his biggest flaw, his biggest downside, his only weakness, is existing in the same game as Nurse and Blight.
Yep.
Because he has no other weaknesses.
Yeah, and I personally think Billy and Drac are interchangeable, but that's just because I have different values on when I play killers.
I would almost be
but-
inclined to agree with you because I hate Dracula that
Yeah,
much.
I'm gonna be honest. I got stuff I have to do relatively soon. So can we kind of?
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go
let's
through these last
speed
three.
run these three.
Dog.
Yeah.
All right, Houndmaster, dog killer. You can pet the dog S tier, better than Nurse.
I know you don't think she's very good, but can you do below Vecna?
I have her below. I have her below Vecna to begin with, so that's
I-
fine.
I think she's stronger than that, but I can move her down to B if you want.
I'm willing to go.
I can do it,
I'm
no.
willing to go above top of B plus B.
No, I
So-
agree with below Vecna. I'd be okay with that.
Okay.
I would personally put her above like Wesker, but no, I'm okay with
okay.
below Vecna.
Yeah.
All right, John Ghoul.
Kaneki. I don't think he's S anymore.
Yep, I agree. Thank you.
I haven't played him in like God.
I do think
since
he's
they-
still really good,
Since they like the first two nerfs, I haven't played him, and that's less because I haven't been playing DB just in general in a while.
I gotta say
Because
something
I'm
really
too
fast, and I
because
know
I'm too
the
busy
one-
saving blood points.
I gotta say this, and I know
But-
I'm the one who literally just said, "Oh, I gotta go soon." Their fucking nerf to Kaneki was just making him feel worse to play.
Thank you.
still-
Yeah.
Oh my God,
He's
thank
still
you.
super
Yeah,
fucking annoying to play.
From what I've
against.
been
Yes.
hearing, yeah.
My
Maybe
God.
I'll do a bot game after this just so I can see it for
I think
myself. But
he's-
He
yeah.
feels like shit to play.
I think
but he
he's
still
still-
fucking sucks to play against.
Yes. Oh my God, thank you. Somebody. Well, I don't mind playing against him, but I never have, even when he was super broken. But
Yeah,
thank you.
I've been fine with facing
saying
him as
that.
well.
All the nerfs did was make him feel like shit to play as. He's not fun to play anymore. They stripped all of the creativity and fun away from the killer, and they made him a clunky, buggy piece of shit mess that's not fun to play, that you're only playing because he's easy and he's strong. And that's not good design. That's
Yeah,
terrible.
I agree.
Like, he... I think
Yeah,
it's
and
mostly
it's-
the collision
I
bugs, though. Like, if they fix a lot of the collision bugs, because he gets stuck on shit a lot, and that's why I get frustrated. If they fix, like, that, or, like, I don't know if you've seen it, but the rubber banding, like, if you grab something, you
Yes.
just fucking go backwards for some
Super
reason.
annoying.
I'm like, what happened? What did they do
Yeah.
to him, man?
Can I say over Pyramid Head, below Plague?
I would almost be inclined to put him higher. Oh, that's Springtrap. I almost
fine
put
with that, too.
Springtrap in fucking S tier. I
Play above Plague, below Spirit?
I
We want to go above Spirit but below Oni.
I can do that too.
yeah, I think he's above Spirit. That's where I would put him
Okay.
personally.
All right, and
All
then
right, time to end
and then
it off.
John Afton.
I have like 20 some odd minutes, so we can talk about this one for a bit if you want to.
All right, cool.
All right, Yoshi, do you want to start?
In terms of where I would
You've played him.
place him,
You've played him the most and experimented the most out of him. I just played the shit out of him on the PTP because I thought he was fun. You're the one that actually did experiments, so you go
really
first.
quick. I'm gonna say I have not played him yet. Console, Sag. I've seen him played a lot. From what I've seen, looking at our list, I would go below Wesker, above Dino. I think.
Oh, I'm putting him way higher.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
How high are you thinking? And I'll tell you if I agree or disagree.
So what I'm generally thinking in a group. Looking at these lists, I think the group that he most closely resembles is like between Plague and Unknown. Like those three, I think he's around there. I think he's
That's
around
a good
that level.
area.
I think he's better than Unknown, but I don't know if he's better or worse than Plague or Pyramid Head, because I think in theory he should be better because of his mobility, but I think that they shut down entire parts of the game with their existence, and he doesn't really do that. So I think I'll put him above Unknown. Like, He has a really
To be fair,
good chase.
you can also keep in mind that he has mobility, but he can also completely shit on Dead Hard because of the axe jump
Yeah.
scare.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Is like he has good mobility, he has a good chase power, he has decent stealth, he has good add-ons. Like he's just all around. He's okay at everything. Like he's good at everything. And his only real downside is the fact that he doesn't excel at anything. Like he's just good at everything. He doesn't have any bullshit. He's an honest character. Like the only bullshit thing that he has is the Foxy's Hook add-on, which if we're taking that into account, then I would maybe put him above Pyramid Head, but I would still put him below Plague.
The only other bullshit thing he has is if you press control and space at the same time, you can just insta teleport through
Oh
doors
yeah, the instant TP.
and abuse the shit out of.
He had a
Eerie
lot of
Remnant with
weird
that,
bugs, like hitting people during TP and the insta TP and stuff like that. But I'm assuming that that's all fixed.
I'm sure that one's not going to make it, and Eerie Remnant's still going to be ass.
If we're predicting like how he's gonna launch on live, I think Foxy's Hook and Celebrate poster might get tweaked, and he'll just end up below Pyramid Head. If he launches with both of those things completely intact, I'd put him above Plague. But
I think it's safe to say those won't go through.
Yeah.
I think we should.
My
maybe
initial thought is
Pyramid Head.
my initial thought is above Unknown, and maybe above Pyramid Head, but not above Plague.
I
would like to go below Pyramid Head, I think.
Yeah, I only put him below Pyramid Head because Pyramid Head has some bullshit. Like he can just tunnel and zone you and like get you out for free.
That's fair.
Where Springtrap has to play the honest game. Like he has to win his chases. He has to pick them carefully. He has to know when to rotate. He has to, pick a build that synergizes with him. Whereas Pyramid Head is just like me load in with 4-gen slowdown. You, Jill, I will tunnel you for this whole game. You die.
Right.
Can I suggest moving Nemesis and Freddy to the bottom of A tier?
Only if I can also... I think Nemesis... Or not, what was I saying? Only if I can also suggest putting Houndmaster below Wesker. Or, sorry, above Wesker.
I'll be okay with... Above Wesker, so she'd be the top of B?
Yeah, I think she's above Wesker.
I think I'm okay with that.
So, remind me of what we have in
I'm
tiers
ready to
again?
go over the whole list.
Yeah.
I say I'm pretty sure I have some stuff not
Alrighty,
aligned. So
I'll
go over
start
the list.
from the bottom, okay?
All right.
Alright, Skull Merchant, Trapper, Ghostface, Legion, Myers, Bubba, Trickster, Pig, Hag, Zodico, Clown, Demo, Dredge, through gritted teeth, Wraith, Doctor, Artist, Huntress, Knight, Slinger, Pyramid Head.
Pinhead.
I'm sorry, Pinhead.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Pinhead. Record scratch. Xenomorph. Wesker. What's her fucking name? Houndmaster. Freddy. Nemesis. Vecna. Chucky. The Unknown. Springtrap. I almost did it again. Pyramid Head. Plague. Spirit. Kaneki. Oni. Twins. Singularity. Dracula. Billy. Blight. Nurse.
We did it. We
fine with
made the
that.
best Dead by Daylight tier list.
This is the objective
I don't
tier
think
list.
it's too bad. Like I think these characters are all generally around where they should be.
The fact that you only
Yes.
really disagree with like Dredge.
There's
like,
only one I disagree with. Yeah.
I mean that's the only.
But even then, like you
contentious
brought
one.
him down to an area. Like we brought him down to an area. I'm like, okay, I can see it, but I don't agree.
Yeah, I feel like you know what?
Yeah,
I'd
I'm
almost
happy
be
with this.
willing for the sake of making the tier list look better. I would almost be considering putting him above Clown in C tier.
Yeah, Freddy and Nemesis being in A is something I'm not used to seeing because I have them in like B plus on my end, and I've also never done a tier list with multiple people before, so
It's hard to do it with multiple people.
This
Yeah.
is a good ass
so,
tier list though.
Yeah,
It's a pretty solid list. I think.
it is overall good. It's just I don't know how I feel about Nemesis seeing Nemesis and Freddy in A when I'm so
Yeah.
used to putting them in B plus. It just feels
Yeah.
weird. But that's just a
Yeah.
side effect of collaborating on this, so it's fine. I'll get used to it.
I think it's a pretty good list. I think.
You know what?
Honestly, we could almost just move all the D tiers up to C tier just to make it look better. and then just have them in that same order.
I don't know. I think Skull Merchant deserves to stay
Yeah, I
down
was about to
there.
say Skull Merchant should stay there.
We should move. Okay, let's move Legion, Ghostface, Trapper up to C. Let's move Dredge down to C. Keep him at the top of C, and then keep Skull Merchant in D. Look at that. That's a nice even.
Oh my god, that looks so much nicer.
That looks
That's a
better.
nice
That looks a
even
lot better.
list, isn't it?
Just fucking Skull Merch. Dude, we should have like for those people who just skipped to the end of the video, we should have put like a batshit insane take.
Wait,
like
let's do that
Legion,
right
like,
now. Let's
bottom
do that
of
right
S
now.
tier.
Let's do that right now.
Okay, yeah.
Fuck,
Put it in
Legion
there.
in S tier.
Just
Let's
start
go.
scrambling them all over the place. I'm not even gonna think about it. Like,
Yeah, for the people who we'll know who people who skip to the end, they'll see like Legion and S tier,
let's
and
see.
they're like,
I'm gonna put Chucky and Pig in S. I'm gonna put Kaneki in B. I'm gonna put Houndmaster in C. Nurse is gonna go in B. Artist in S. Dracula's gonna be top of S. Blight is gonna be
if we're new players, you gotta put Doctor in F.
Oh yeah.
Doctor's got to be top 1.
Doctor's S. Let's put Twins in C tier. Let's put Sadako in A. She kills people instantly. Springtrap in. I gotta put Springtrap at bottom of C to bait people into thinking he's S.
I gotta put Vecna in D tier. Too complicated of a power.
Trickster's S. Vecna in. I'm gonna put Vecna in C. I'm gonna put Myers in A. I'm gonna put Bubba in A. He's OP. He can camp. I'm gonna put Hag in B. Let's put
Trickster's got to
Huntress
be
in
S tier. He can hit me while I'm running. He's got to be S tier.
Yep. I'm gonna put Wesker in C tier.
Xenomorph should be S tier. I don't know how to place turrets.
Xeno's broken. Oh yeah, Larry in C. I forgot. I gotta move Larry down. Let's put Spirit in B tier. She's mid. Pyramid Head in C tier. He's bad. Unknown in C tier. Yep.
Springtrap's in D tier. He has to play honestly.
Clown A. He's broken. He can slow people down.
Ready.
Kaneki's
Well,
S
then.
tier.
Pinhead's S.
Still. And then Nurse is in C tier because I don't know how to blink ranges work.
Trapper's in A. And yeah, I think this looks pretty good. Oh wait, I forgot. I gotta move Billy down. Billy's bad. And Deathslinger's
Oh yeah,
really
no.
good.
What are you talking about? He can't play indoor maps. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to move Legion up. Legion's S. Ghostface B. All right, I'm gonna screenshot this and send this to you guys after we're done. This looks great.
That's pretty good. Okay.
I
think
already
we're good
sent my
then.
own list. So
Yep. This is our
should be
definitive
you guys-
tier list that we did not even disagree on once.
Not once.
Absolutely not. We definitely
wanna-
didn't argue about Dredge for 45 minutes.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
And Chucky took up like an hour.
Do we want to sign off?
Yep.
Yeah, I think so. We've
All right,
been
everyone.
here
That
since
was
like
a
11.
long
I think
one.
it's time
No,
to
we've been
go.
here since like fucking 9. Oh, wait, you're an hour ahead though. Sorry.
Well,
Uh,
yeah, for me, I've been chatting with you guys since 10. I think we started the list at like 10:45,
It's almost
11
1 o'clock.
somewhere in there.
yeah. All right, everyone.
It's like
thanks
it's like
for watching.
1:42 on my end.
Thanks for watching, everybody. You guys want to say goodbye?
Cheers.
Yep. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching. All right. Yoshi, just send that to me.